gonna walk right out the door, walk away. Nothing to say. Made up my mind. My best friend says that she really cares. And my sister says I'm gonna walk away. I'm walking no matter what you say. I made up my mind. Walk away. I made it up to say. I made up my mind. No matter what you say. No matter what you say this time. Walk away. Nothing left to say. I made up my mind. I made my mind up. I'm gonna walk away. I'm walking right out that door this time. No, no. No, no. No, no.
Talking on the phone tonight, saying that I'm on your mind. You know I'm thinking about you, too, baby. I see you getting on the grind, putting work in overtime. So let me make this about you. Yeah. We gon' do the things you like, we gon' get it poppin' right. Let me show you what my city's like. My baby keeps it sexy right. East side cruising, hit the clutch, now we moving up in overdrive. Got me looking good tonight, hands up on your thighs. Can see you staring with them chocolate eyes. I promise I'ma do you right, I'ma link you up tonight. So come and take a ride with her. Oh baby, I wanna know. Oh baby, tell me what the motive's like. We can keep it local, right? Hey, I wanna know. Oh baby, tell me what the motive's like. I see that you change every time that you're rolling with me. And I pray that this night never ends. I don't wanna leave. It's so I wish I could take you on a journey, make you see what I see when you lay upon me, and you ride it out slowly, and we do this thing right. I wish I could take you on a journey, make you see what I see when you lay upon me. We gon' ride it out slowly, we gon' do this thing right. Oh baby, I wanna know. Oh baby, tell me what the motive's like. We can keep it local, right? Hey, I wanna know. Oh baby, tell me what
Flava FM football show from 1845 to 2045 hours.
When you are touched and you change position, it's a penalty. Professionally done by that wonderful referee. Very brave. The first one we even saw
that wonderful referee.
The National Sports Council started demanding for the letter. Are you a member of FIFA? You're not. They're not members of FIFA. It's FAS. And the letters have come out. So who has looked foolish now? Because they thought FAS were hiding something behind their back. And the official communication has come out. The letters are out there for each one of us to go through and understand. And the beauty with FIFA.
Tune in to the Flava FM football show for the latest local, African and international football news.
Pius, if you look at Zambian football critically, very, very critically, after winning the AFCON, we went into the second attempt and did we win a single game? No. The slump started then. Yo, Kamanga this, Kamanga that, Kamanga. We from the time we hit a slump, we have not recovered.
You know, this is quite
it's sad.
Oxymoronic, should I say?
Yeah.
Precisely. I like that word.
In why I say it's oxymoronic is the Zambia has been booted out of the AFCON, but many people seem to have a great hope, even from the messages which I read earlier. People
Pius, going like I said, going
this
forward.
Booting out has actually left many people positive.
The Flava FM football show, 90 minutes of nothing but football. Flava FM, Coppola's most loved radio station. Good evening to you, and welcome to the Flava FM football show. We're a few minutes late, but nevertheless, we are on. And nevertheless, we are here, broadcasting on 87.7 on the Copperbelt, 96.9 in Lusaka, and 92.1 in Solwezi City. I've promoted you today, Solwezi City. And then we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube as well. Look for Flava FM platforms on either of those social media platforms, Facebook or YouTube. And you will catch us broadcasting with the soccer gurus in the studio. And the first soccer guru I will introduce today is Mr. Christopher Kalota. Pastor Chris, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, gentlemen. And it's great to be back on the show once again. And good evening, viewers and listeners. Parimaite shiralo tulo shiralo tulo tula pede.
Maite has been pretending. You guys are pretenders.
Ask my other man, he'll tell you.
You guys have been pretending for the last I don't know how many years.
No, not this time. We're serious.
Yeah, serious.
Very serious.
Just because of a good win.
No, but we've been ascending. They've been ascending. The results are showing. And the results are showing the team is intact. I don't want to say much about them, and we'll talk about it. We saw a game. We watched a game. One of the best games so far this season. Not because I'm mighty. No.
Not because you're mighty.
No. But anyway, it's great to be back on the show.
Good evening, Mr. Patrick Charlie. How are you, our local soccer historian?
Thank you so much, Paz, for having me. I think many may say long days and short nights, that is the weather pattern, but a lot of football being played locally and of course on the globe. It's getting hot.
But Charlie, I'm a red card to AFCON.
What's going on?
Okay, but Tempo will come in on this one later on. But in your view, there are 12.
13. Many
13 now.
Red cards, yes, passes. 12 is it 13 in total, but the cream is rising to the top now. And boys are being separated. The big boys are marching on.
The big boys are marching on. Good evening, Alderman Tembo. How are you today? I'm sorry. You had one good part of a good weekend. Man, you played a very good game, winning the way we used to win in the last minute. It doesn't until the last whistle. It doesn't matter. We will score. But on the other side, as I predicted last week, you were battered.
Yeah, I tell you. Anyway, back to Feggy time. Yeah, but I've been a bit disappointed with the way VAR is being executed. We shall talk much.
Yes.
The way we see it implemented in Europe is not the way we are seeing now. Some of those decisions are very, very questionable.
Yeah.
And may help the big boys that Mr. Chad is talking about to the top, you know. And we don't want that to happen. Let a better team win.
You know, because
the Malawi coach, I do agree with his sentiments. He has really lamented at the way the so-called smaller teams are being treated, the decisions and so on.
Yeah. I mean, even some of the big teams. I feel for Ghana.
Oh yes.
That challenge for Ayu because he got the ball first.
Oh yes.
I think he should have got a yellow. Now, okay. Well, anyway, that one. I also feel for Nigeria.
Yeah,
Alex Iwobi. That one. Because those two decisions potentially sent those teams home.
Of the 13,
yes,
I think only 9. 8 were okay.
Yakwajani 9. Even that one is questionable.
No, Yakwajani was okay. We went through that much earlier.
Yakwajani.
Which one? The first one?
The red card.
Which we had which one?
The red card.
Oh, you mean the chap who raised?
Yes.
No, that one was red. We talked about it.
Yeah, that one.
He raised the studs long before the contact with the player. Yeah, but the others have been questionable.
We will come to that. Let me see if I can run through a few messages right now and catch up with some of our listeners. This one says, okay, no, this is not for football show. This one says, hi panel. Power 0, Prisons 0 is the worst match so far I've watched per Arthur Davis. Evening, GVFC, too much nyantaring or too much nyantaring. That's why they are not scoring. This one says, okay, no, it's not for the football show. Messages have reached capacity. I need to start deleting messages.
Oh my God.
My inbox takes 100 messages at a go. I've already reached over 100. Evening power. Evening. I'm not sure why it says evening power tools. Evening power tools. I'll read it as it is. But about Alderman, it was so bad for the miners at Chilata to be pierced by arrows, and the favorite at the AFCON to be knocked out by Tunisia. Then were Alderman, why Arabs complained bitterly after the referee's decision against them, especially when they are down. Genius Elias from Riverside, Nkana and Liverpool fan. Okay, let me just do one thing. If people can bear with me, let me delete as I go. Okay, so that more can come in. Okay, there we go. Hello. How is everyone there? I just want to know how the following players are performing in their clubs at the moment. Nathan Sinkala, Lubambo Msonda, Roderick Kabwe, Stopila Sunzu, Kings Kangwa, Enoch Mwepu, and I think Rainford Kalaba. Coming to the AFCON, the host will win the tournament again. Fanwell Vashchimwemwe Pakawama. Okay, I hope, gentlemen, we've taken note of that. Evening wise men on the panel. My comment goes to my team, prestigious Power Dynamos. 2 draws in a row, not that bad. We just need to work on finishing. Chances we are creating now, too much failing to score. But all in all, we are winning on Friday. Yellow all the way. Let Forest get lost in their bush. And the panel update us on Brian, Kennedy and Deco. And are they okay now or what? Lastly, Vankana, what happened to Cool Arrows after borrowing a jersey? You looked like Cameroon. They were taught football after that. Where they were beaten. Now you are learning some manners. Sorry, Vane. I'm Maximilian Mwamba, MMK, per overspill. This one says, all your foresight as experience, then I would be is this for us? Yes. Good evening, panel. To address the issue raised last week concerning the quality of coaches we have in Zambia, the truth is we have a very good number of them, including young upcoming coaches who have not waited for FAS or administrators to invest in them. The upcoming crop of coaches understand that it is not only desire that will take them to the top level, but also most importantly is focus, discipline, and self-sacrifice. The biggest question is how many opportunities are available for the young coaches. For example, Prison Leopards gave Coach Mwenya Chipepo a chance to prove himself, and today he has rescued Power Dynamos. I've lost my message. Oh yeah. He has rescued Power Dynamos who tried experienced head coaches who failed to achieve what he is achieving with the club now. Last week on the show, the Kansanshi Exco was lambasted for appointing a physical trainer in Coach Donwell Yobe as interim coach for the club. Coach Yobe may have been a physical trainer, but he is also a qualified coach, and despite him not yet proven at that stage, he still deserves a chance as an upcoming to prove himself. Finally, on Red Arrows and the Nkana game, I remember last week Mr. Alderman Tembo mentioned that he senses mind games for these fixtures and gave a warning, and in the end, we all saw the saga before kickoff with the jerseys. Now, Alderman, if I call your foresight as experience, then I would be undermining you, because most don't learn even from experience. Allow me just to say you are so intelligent. This is Coach Vincent Chirekwa. Thank you,
Thank you, Coach.
Vincent. You warned them.
I did.
And it happened. Evening, wise men. When the ref gives a red card to a person on the bench, why doesn't it show on top of the screen, even if there are 11 people playing, since it is on the next on the next game? This message cuts. I don't have the full message. Then this one says, evening soccer analysts, update me on any new player at Chelsea and who is going to the win the AFCON trophy. This is Chisanga Chilufya, the Blues family, Pa Saint Anthony. Okay, let me just get rid of these, which I've already read, so that more messages can come in. All right, there we go. This message says, evening Mr. Tembo and the panel. I want to talk about the game between Prisons and Abayelo, because the 2023 preparation for the national team, the coach may need to consolidate the defense, such as the left and right backs. You may agree with me that Peter Jacob Banda can play at least 3 positions, 2, 3 and 4, 5. Quite talented, and for sure there are few individuals that can do such an assignment. Well, you may best analyze the chap. To me, he is the best defender, worth trying. This is Mr. Mpundu from Lusaka. Worth trying in the national team. Okay. Hello, soccer gurus, and I'll ask you to comment on that one as well. Can you imagine, even after deleting those messages, the box is already full again. Hello, soccer gurus. Evening, Batembo, Badani, Arthur. Can you please talk about Nkana Exco? To be serious when doing things, because Nkana is a big team. Why putting on yo-yo jerseys on the game against Arrows?
We'll talk about that one. That's a heated one. Mr.
Chivoria Davison from Solwezi. Yes, gentlemen, we'll be expected to talk about that.
That one is heated.
Okay, another long one here. This is Rootsman Julius Massina from Uflera. Nkana is my DNA. Danny and the panelists at Flava FM, Kopala's most loved. My request this evening to the soccer wise men is kindly to educate us on the issue of home and away jerseys. It has happened to the armchair critics as if Nkana is a problem team. Number 1, a lineup is listed availed to the match officials. Does it comply with the jersey numbers? In an event where Nkana wore green jerseys, how was the numbering? Number 3, if a referee was to book a player based on a number of a jersey, green, the penalty goes to which team? To find faults in a club is wrong. Dwell on this issue, please. It's strange to others. Okay. Evening, Mr. Mambo and the wise men. But pious, I now understand why Badani and Wakufa talk hard on referees. What's happening at AFCON in the Cameroon highlights the low and shambolic officiating we have as a continent. VAR bias is being misused. Indeed, we are far from using VAR. Let's not rush. It will kill our game, which is already in the doldrums. Wish my team Kalampa all the best in tomorrow's game. This is Nash Kawuya, Ndeke Changa. Okay. We'll come and talk about all those issues in Kana. We are all from Musakile and Smoked Center. Let's behave. Red Arrows is sister club GCY. Okay. This one says, evening panel. And how are you doing today? You are back in the evening today. My favorite show. It's me, Adams, in Musakile. But today I'm listening from Nakonde. Just enjoying how you are doing, and I'm very disappointed with what happened in Lusaka in the game between Nkana and Red Arrows. Hope it will not repeat itself again. Then next message. Good evening, panel. I just want to congratulate my team Zesco with the win over Chambeshi Zega for life. Mr. Tembo, tell Bakamanga that we won't be part of the Africa Cup next year. We have a coach, so no excuses. I think we want, because there's an apostrophe, I think we want to be part of the Africa Cup next year. We have no excuses this time. This is Lucas Pakalulushi. Thank you, Lucas. Okay, let me just make some space so that more messages can come in. This one says, good evening, Joshua from Luangwa. Power is finishing in the top 4, no doubt about it. Power Likulu. Let's find a coach who is tactical. I think we've already got a good coach. It ended in tears at Nkoloma Stadium for the Scrivana boys. Scrivana boys. I foresee Red Arrows going all the way and winning the league. This is Richard from Kitwe. This one says, hello, Flava crew, the best soccer analyst in Zambia. May almighty prison leopards. It was frustrating. It was frustrating. It frustrated me more, especially. Okay, I think maybe that's a Power fan. I think he's saying he was frustrated with the Prison Leopards game. This one says, evening, I'm enjoying the show. I just want to talk about my team Power Dynamos. We need a natural number 6, and what has happened to Brian Mwila-Kanshi. Secondly, let Faz act on incidents which occurred at Nkoloma Stadium and Sunset, respectively. Some Nkana players are indisciplined, and that prompted fans to misbehave. Faz, please dock points for this unprofessional team. Lastly, on VAR, CAF still has a lot to do with this pathetic officiating at the ongoing AFCON. John Nkweto from Luangwa in Kitwe. Evening panel, I'm enjoying the show. I just want to talk about my team, Power Dynamos. We need a natural number 6. All right. Then this one says, Ninevo Victor Sanga, Kuchamboli, Power supporter, coach Chipepo. Mutubere ko uluse kuri ba supporter abale mi tukensele bambi supporter okay, maybe let me not finish this message. Okay, I've already read what is written.
May not be good for radio. Anyway, has delivered the message.
Okay, yes. Congratulations, Zesco United. I'm saying in Deni, we are coming on Friday. Okay, I'm Professor Caesar Pazambia in Kamfinsa. This one says, the panelists, I am with you to hear the soccer show here in Solwezi. As usual, Vatembo, Patrick, and others, we haven't yet come to the studio, by the way. Okay, I'm not sure what it is. Hi, soccer gurus. All the best as you enlighten us on soccer issues, from Alvin, Poway Bridge in Solwezi. Then this one says, that's the problem with you, Power. Mutere bora bankana efyo tamwari pantanshi aba red eva bakom Nkana and Arsenal forever va DC Pawuzaland. This one says, evening panel, tell coach Chipepo to put Kennedy Musonda in the first 11 against Forest. Musonda is the intelligent, influential player. Clement in Wasakele. Thank you for Clement. Then this one says, hello Flava crew, the best. Okay, I think we already read this one. It's from Abayero. One gift. Evening, I'm Joshua from Aluangwa. KTK Power is finishing in the top 4, no doubt. Then this one says, good evening panel. Vankana, you should learn to expect if you lose, if you win with the ref, if you win, the ref is okay, but when you lose, the ref is not fair. Change. And I'm not happy with the dress code. This is Marvin Zega for life. My team Nkana will win tomorrow, and I'm very much ready for that game. I want an update about my team Nkana and Manu. Who have they signed so far? Okay, I think maybe we can stop here for a moment while I'm refreshing some of my messages as we get more in our inbox. Matters arising, gentlemen, for the messages before we start analyzing.
Yeah, from the notes I took, I think most of them will be found in the subsequent program as we proceed. Yeah,
the jersey issue is the big
issue.
Refereeing
because
issue.
So we shall talk about it when we talk about those results. Obviously, we are going to talk about, because if we start talking about it now and then there is Nkana arrows coming, what are we going to talk about? So
okay.
Most of the issues are actually the performance of referees at AFCON is the same. There are a number of games that I think you highlight.
Before we even talk about that issue, I just need a one-word answer from you, Oderman, who is a former referee. If you are on the panel to grade referees out of 10 overall performance, where do you put it at AFCON?
Come again?
Overall referee performance at the AFCON out of 10.
Out of 10 at the moment?
At the moment.
I'm afraid I can give it 4.
4. Okay. We'll come and discuss it later. 4 out of 10.
And that's serious. Very few match commissioners give that.
Uh-huh.
So as match commissioner, for now, overall, I've given them 4.
4 out of 10. All right. So I think, Alderman, you've got some lower league results. Perhaps we can go in. Gentlemen, are you all agreeable with what Alderman says? Is there any issue maybe you caught from the messages before we, or they will come as we discuss?
I think the support which the listeners are giving out, I think it's a very good feedback.
Yes.
Because they are very, very valid, and we expand on those important points which they have raised.
Yeah.
So that we keep in line.
All right. Alderman, lower league results, which you have.
Well, I have Eastern Province Division 1 Week 17 results. That is provincial results. I'm happy. We used to complain about Eastern Province.
Yes.
Hopefully, very soon we shall see a Super League team coming from there. So the Week 17 Eastern Province Division 1 results were as follows. Katete Rangers 3, Katete United 1, Young Nkwazi 2, Chipata City Council 1, Chadiza United 2, Sinda United 3, Riu Mpezeni 1, Nyimba United 0, Nyampande Kumawa 1, Prison Leopards 2, Zesco Chipata 1, Dundas United 1, St. Francis 5, Imena Golden Stars 1. Those were the results which we got from Eastern Province.
From Eastern Province.
And we proceed. First Northern Province Division 1, Week 17. It was Mungwi Hotspurs 0, Pulungu Harbour 1, Tazara Blue Stars 1, Ituna 1, Page Youth Stars 0, Polokoso United 3, Kasama United Youth Academy 0, St. Luke 1, Chishimba Green Eagles 1, Kasama Zesco Chiefs 1, Ndeke 3, Kaka 1, Milima Pirates 2, Panda Youth Academy 0, Mpulungu United 0, Malalo Police 0, Kateshi Coffee Bullets versus Mpulungu Youth. The game was postponed.
All right.
But before we leave this, I will inquire at first. I don't know how they have allowed one name to be used by two teams in different divisions. It's unprecedented. I'm talking about Prison Leopards.
I've noticed that. Prison Leopards, that's in Eastern Province.
The GS should have taken
and
note.
Prison Leopards in Central.
Because you are going to have a situation where this Prison Leopards is promoted, or the Prison Leopards in Super League is demoted, and then they collide. What are you going to call them?
Yeah.
So normally we allow one name to one team, no matter which division they are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, very true and very valid. So, looking at, I've got results from, as usual, Copper Belt. We can quickly pick Division 3 Copper Belt. The results are as follows. Division 3, that is Nkumbu 1, AfriSport 0. AfriSport, sure. 1 win out of 14. This is as if this team was not dominating in Division 1 at one time.
They produced Kalava and Jacob Mlenga.
Yes. 1 win in 14. Muflira Eagles 1, Ronald Ross United 1, Sunflower 0, MCM Smelter 2, McAnn 2, Young Kitwe United 0, Chifubu Pirates 4, Lime Hotspur 0, Kebi Stars 1, Chifubu Youths 0, Chilabombwe United 1, Kasompe United 1, Itimpi United 0, Chuempala Stars 1, and Ganaton Athletic 2, Gurok Community 1. Top 4 is topped by the Division 3 is topped by KB Stars on 30 points, McAnn number 2 with 25 points, Chifubu Pirates 3 with 24 points, and Nkumbu 4 with 23 points. Then Division 2 Copper Belt, we have the following results. Binel 0, 3, and Zesco Redface 3, Zamtan Celtic 0, Chambishi 0, Chifubu Bullets 3, Young Wanderers 0, Young Forest Rangers and Chilawambwe Sundowns was not played. Then Chimwemwe Chiefs 1, Tagagan Snipers 1, Score Rangers 3, Impala 0, Ingwe 0, Quattro 1, Police Blue Eagles 0, Kalushi Zebras 0, Misenshi Blue Stars 2, and Muflira Police 1. And the top 4 in Division 2 is Police Blue Eagles topping with 34 points. Chifubu Bullets number 2 with the game in hand on 32 points. Tagagan Snipers 3 on 30 points. And Quattro Kitwe are number 4 on 29 points. Then Division 1 Copper Belt, we have the following results. Mutondo Stars 1, Neokath 0, Lubambe 1, Kalulushi Modern Stars 2, Ndola United 2, Young Nchanga 0, Rainbow Rangers 1, Chingola Police Blue Stars 2, Ron United 3, Konkola Mine Police 1, Zambezi Portland 1, and Young Power Dynamos 0, Chingola Leopards 0, Muflira Blackpool 0, Young Nkana 1, Copperbelt Buffaloes 0, and Muflira United 2 and Luansha United 3. Top 4 in Division 1 Copperbelt, Mutondo still lead and 5 points clear with 38 points. Chingola Police Blue Stars on 33 points. Ndola United 3 on 33 points, and Kalusha Modern Stars 4 on 31 points. All right. So that's any comments on Copperbelt provisional leagues?
Yeah, I think we feel for Mufira Blackpool. This is a side which has been it has been around for many years. They have changed the coach, but results are not changing. They have now John Lungu at the helm of their bench, but still wallowing very low on the league. We also have teams like AfriSport in Division 3. This is a side which has produced players who are playing far and wide, but AfriSport, I think it's at the verge of getting into extinction, because they have out of 14 games, they have only won one game. Not a very good reading, but one important positive to take out of these games is that the games are going on. Yes. for the lower leagues, which is a plus.
Yeah, that is yes, it's actually a positive note on that one, because at least I think I only read one game which was not played. That was in Division 2, but aside from that, games are being played.
Well, Mutondo Stars, are they running away with it? Remember, there is only one team which qualifies for playoffs in Lusaka.
Yes.
For the National Division 1. It's too early, but Mutondo have been very consistent. This is a team which is well managed. They don't have arrears in terms of allowances for the players, whatever.
Yes.
Whatever is required is provided. And this is a good lesson for others who are running these clubs.
Yeah.
You can get same results if you get it right administratively.
Yeah.
It's as simple as all that. Players will be motivated if you are paid on time. They will be running away from their clubs, and they'll be coming. You want to spend so much time going at night, ringing people at night to lure them to. They'll just come on their own.
Yeah.
And it will be up to you now to choose who you want to keep and who you want to leave. So they must invest in good management. And I think so far, Mutondo has done just that. And they are not on top by accident. So the rest perhaps can learn from.
Yeah, they showed their intent actually starting from last year.
Yeah.
And they've continued where they left off. They at least they didn't. The core of the team is still there, and right now they're in poor position.
Yes, they are, but 5 points can easily be eclipsed.
Yes.
So it's they have to work very hard.
Yeah. All right. So Looking at now, we jump to Eden University and games which were played over the weekend. But Charlie, you have results from over the weekend?
Yes, indeed. Games which were played over the past weekend. Goms 1-0 winners against Kitwe United. Quattro Kalumbila 0 Mchanga Rangers. Danny likes to call them brave Mchanga Rangers.
Yes.
Jumulo 1, Livingstone Pirates 1. Livingstone Pirates making a long trip into Kitwe. Napsa Stars 0, Zesco Malite Rangers 0. Young Green Eagles 1, Luapula Green Eagles 0. And of course, the team with the largest following in the Eden University, Mufira Wanderers 2, FC Muza 0. Police College, anchoring the basement of the table, were playing Young Green Buffaloes. Police College 0, Young Green Buffaloes 1. Lumana up against Cabo Youth Soccer Academy. This game was not played because Cabo Youth Soccer Academy failed to travel. And of course, City of Lusaka, Trident. City 2, Trident 1.
All right. So, interesting games over the weekend. I was not expecting the good travelers, Alderman in Kitwe United, to be defeated by the Isaac Mazalu goal from Gomes.
Oh yes, I think this is a game which could have gone either way. Chris and I watched that game. Kitwe United had their chances as well. Unfortunately, just like it happened the other week, hit the upright, it couldn't go in. Their colleagues had one chance, they scored. So the Kitwe are not dropping the points out of not playing well. Mark my word, I've watched both games.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been putting up a fight, but sometimes football goes with luck. Yeah. So it wasn't their day, but they had some good spells. They defended well and they created chances.
And penalty denied.
Yeah, there was also one clear penalty, I think, which was denied. But anyway, statistics don't lie. What counts is that Kitwe lost by 1-0. So congratulations to Gomes. They also had some good spells.
They played well.
Yeah,
they played well.
All right. Bachali, Jumula 1, Livingston Pirates 1. Kefas Kaluluma scoring for Jumulo, and Evans Silokomela scoring for Pirates.
I think it's a fair result for Pirates because they are not sitting pretty on the table. They had to fight to actually just earn a point. But for Jumulo, I think they've been dropping points needlessly. At one point, they were on position number 2. So a result for them, not very good, but they can build on this draw in their subsequent game.
But Chris, Young Green Eagles versus Luapula Green Eagles. Young Green Eagles toppling their is it younger brothers? Their brothers, Kingsley Fichite, with that decisive goal.
Well, just to be brief, that one, like I actually predicted last week, I gave it to Young Green Eagles.
Yeah.
So it was in the offing, actually. It was coming.
It was coming?
It was coming. I could see it coming.
Alderman, Police College losing at home to Young Green Buffaloes. Anyway, they've been languishing at the foot of the table. Was it expected?
Well, who doesn't beat Police College? I mean, even those who bet, they'll make money. Police College will help them.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. You know, Police College need to come into this and compete, not just to participate or give room to recruits that rely to to be practicing. No. We want serious teams. This is Eden University League. This is National League. Yeah. So if they're not serious, they should withdraw and allow those that want to compete. They've been at the basement from week 1. That's why they are receiving this lambasting from me. Surely at some point they should have come out of that. But you see, you don't expect a team to be at the bottom from week 1 up to now. It means that they are not ready to compete.
Yeah.
What type of boxing match is this? It's like somebody has hands tied at the back and the other one is free.
Yeah.
You know.
But Charlie, City of Lusaka, new coach, new win. Beating Trident. Of course, Trident, looking at the way they've performed so far, we can't exactly call them a small team. They've been decent this season. And they beat Trident 2-1.
For City, I think they have been swift in terms of the technical bench. There was Isaac Chansa at one point. Before that, they had a foreign coach who I think was very theoretic. Performance on the pitch wasn't good enough. Isaac Chansa was roped in there. And now they have a new coach in Albert Mpande. New coach, new result for City. It's not too late. They are on position, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Could be position number 8. And they are not very far from where Nchanga Rangers is. So a good win for City of Lusaka, winning 2-1. It was a tight game. And at one point, City were under siege. They had to defend in numbers because Trident were throwing everything at them. Kitchens, pots, pans were being thrown at City. But City held on for that slender win. A good start for Albert Mpande. But for Trident, I think they are slowly losing it. They will have to regroup and try out in the next game as well.
NAPSA 0, Zesco Malaiti 0. Chris?
Remember, Papias, I keep repeating myself.
It was top versus bottom.
Top versus bottom. And I remember at one time, Alderman actually said that, if I stand to be corrected anyway, I remember Alderman one time said that we know what result is going to come. Top versus bottom. And I was saying, well, football changes. Yes, football changes. But at the end of the day, as usual, Alderman had it right. So
you see, you don't underrate, like what Chris has said. Don't win in advance. Football is cruel.
So they
work in the 90 minutes.
And being at home, I'm sure NAPSA won the game before they walked on the pitch.
That's it.
They've beaten the biggest teams in Eden.
You see,
but they failed to beat the bottom,
where everyone has been collecting
points.
It's something else.
Yeah. What happened in Muflera, Alderman?
Well, you want us to talk about Muflera Wanderers?
Yes.
Rejuvenated. Muflera Wanderers, like what Chris said, as they have Emmanuel Mkuka on their ranks, a lethal striker. I think he did well on his debut, although he didn't score. It's a balanced squad now. They are defending well. They are playing with purpose. You can see that it's not chipante anymore.
3 out of 4
This is Muflera Wanderers side, which I've been talking about. I've had faith in Muflera Wanderers. I've been consistent. Although they were at the bottom, I kept saying that they have just started like a diesel engine, and when they pick momentum, they will really knock at the doors of the big boys who are pretending to be in top 4. So my words are coming to pass. I said the same about Nchanga Rangers. This is round 2, where boys get separated from men. The boys are giving up, they are tired. The men are now reclaiming their positions. If those who are on top think they have gone to Super League, they must think twice. This is national Eden University, where there is everything to play for. Chris and I did some calculations. The competition is such that the team which is on number 13 on the log now still has very good chances of
going to Super League.
That's how it is. So you snooze, you are gone. You need to keep awake. It's 24 hours. So Muflera Wanderers did not. That scoreline was not by accident. They deserved to win. They worked for it.
Musa
is a very good side, very organized. That defense, I think it's the first time in many weeks to concede 2 goals. They are very well organized.
Very organized.
You know, Masao Sotembo organizes his teams. But anyway, even before he went there, Musa was still a very strong side. Dropping 2 points, well, it was too bad for them. At least they should have resisted. At least they should have gotten a point. Flava Wanderers don't spare teams at Shinde, and I told Chris before the game started, there is no way Musa, no matter in what form, they can pick 2 points at Shinde. Flava Wanderers have brought back the old days of winning Ichungulo at Maite.
Is it too early to be saying that? Are you in agreement?
Pius, I can see you looking at me because you don't trust my team. You know, my other man has actually said it. I don't want to waste much of your time. What I've seen a good trajectory in terms of the technical side. The way Harrison is applying his team, it's very balanced right now. This season we've watched Flava Wanderers I think three times, and they looked really awkward and terrible. But watching them against Musa is a good side. I said it before they played. I said Musa is a good side, and Wanderers will have it very, very tough. But Wanderers look very balanced, and like Alderman has said, they are playing with purpose, intent, and you can see the vibe when they're going on the pitch. The body language was able to show that this guy is the mean business at the end of it all. But there's just one thing I want to talk about, an incident that happened. It wasn't good for the TV viewers, whereby there was a yellow card and then a red card produced and then taken back like that. And people did not really understand. He put himself under a lot of pressure for about 5 minutes. The other man can actually testify to that. For 5 minutes, the game was stopped because he had flashed the yellow card to a wrong player, and then flashed it again, and then it was red, but then he reversed. So that brought a lot of heated debate. But otherwise, it was a very exciting game, and I'm looking forward to seeing if Wanderers can compete like that. That's why you saw me coming with all the history from my archives and all that, because what I'm seeing,
I have to.
I'm seeing something. I'm seeing a pattern here of Alex Musungu and Nelson Haide Banda. That combination that used to be there, I saw it this Sunday. And when I see something, it comes to pass. And this one will come to pass.
I'm going to mark that. They have a very intelligent midfielder, Manix Nengero. You know, he had an injury, and he lost his father. And then he lost his brother. The brother, sorry. So he couldn't play. So each time he doesn't play, might have problems.
They shake.
Yeah, but when he's in the team,
you should watch him.
I tell you, he's a versatile player. He's Congolese. This time around he scored.
Yeah.
So he can score, he can create, he can defend. It's very, very good.
Okay. All right. So, Charlie, just before we look at the upcoming fixtures for Eden University, are you of the same thought? I'm looking at the table for Eden University at the moment, and I've got Kaisa sitting. Actually, let me include Luapula Green Eagles is sitting on 15th position on with 20 points, and Inchanga Rangers on position number 4 with 30 points. 10 points separating, 3 games difference. Is it? Can we say that Kaisa, Luapula Green Eagles, they still have a chance to move up, or do you think it's still too tight to call it? For example, these teams like also FC Musa, I'll put them in the equation. They are not safe with regards to top 4. Maybe the top 2 are more reliable, sitting in a more comfortable position.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I think I'll combine it like this. Quattro Kalumbira Nchanga Rangers. Quattro, I think after that accident they were bashed by Nchanga Rangers 3-0. I think they still have effects of what had happened to Quattro Kalumbira. Now, coming to your point, the Pies. I think every team have got a realistic chance of actually getting to the top 4. The points difference, I think, is not much. Talking about where Kaiser is on number 15, they're on 20 points. Talk about Nchanga Rangers on 30 points. All the teams have a realistic chance, except that teams have to be very organized this time. These games are coming up fast and thick, and they are very, very tough fixtures ahead of in the second round. But truth be told, all the teams have got a realistic chance. Talking about Kaiser, Katro, and the much praised Mfila Wanderers, they have a chance. Gomes, Young Green Buffaloes, City of Lusaka have got a say in it. Even Kitwe United have got a chance. So there is all to play for in the second round. But most importantly, these teams have to organize themselves very well, defend as a team, and attack as a team. Otherwise, the games in the second round are not easy, because all the teams want to be counted in terms of promotion, and no team wants to go down, except for Police College. As a soccer historian, I can safely say I think they are moving in the opposite direction for Police College.
And just something that I've noted by Pius, just allow me to say something. I stand to be corrected. After this week's fixtures, believe you me, the top, from position number 1 to position number 7, number 8, it's not going to change so much. Because the ones that are chasing from there won't really catch up. Like if you look at Mfria Wanderers, they're on 25 and 26. So the top 7 will remain almost the same the way it is in the meantime.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see. It's very tight.
Very.
I was looking position number 4 and position number 9, only separated by 4 points.
Oh,
It's
yes.
very, very tight.
Because even those that are separated by 10 points, it's 3 games.
3 games.
There are 14 to go. You know, and a team can be caught by way of drawing. They went upset draw, and this other team wins. It means they have reduced
The gap.
by 2.
Yeah.
You know, so if you draw 3 times,
And even before we go away from the Eden, for NAPSA Stars, they have started recruiting players that are in the twilight of their football careers. Talk about Sidin Kalumi. He has played all the football. He has been around, he has seen it all.
Yeah.
For NAPSA Stars to start relying on players that are in the twilight, I think it's a little bit dicey. It can work out, and it may even backfire
They
for
become very
NAPSA
prone,
Stars.
Just a bit of an update. Cote d'Ivoire 0, Egypt 0.
full time.
Yes. We are
I think this is what Egypt wanted. This is what Egypt wanted.
this kind of game suits Egypt,
Yeah.
and we'll see. I prefer games to finish before penalties.
Yeah,
but,
but they,
we'll
they,
see
are,
what
they, are,
happens.
they are going into extra time.
30 minutes to be
It's
played.
30 minutes, 15.
Yes, exactly.
Winners are still.
Let's look at fixtures for this weekend in the Eden University very, very quickly. Trident versus Quattro Kalumbila. That's a Solwezi derby. Kitwe United versus City of Lusaka. Nchanga Rangers versus Jumulo. Zesco Malaiti Rangers versus Gomes. Livingston Pirates versus Lumwana. Luapula Green Eagles versus Napsa Stars. Kaisa versus Muflira Wanderers. Young Green Buffaloes versus Young Green Eagles. FC Muza versus Police College. FC Muza, Chris, they shouldn't underrate Police College
Yeah, they shouldn't underrate Police College.
like the way NAPSA did.
Yeah, but one funny thing is Police College at times they keep on losing by a slender margin, like 1-0 and all that. So FC Muza mustn't really underrate Police College, but when FC Muza is at home, you know what to expect. It's fireworks. It is fireworks. This is a given 3 points. It's already decided for FC Muza. I saw
This
FC
one you say
Muza.
for FC Muza, but NAPSA, you said something else.
Yeah, but you know, I'm talking about the current form of FC Muza and what I've seen. NAPSA's current form, they started dropping points. If you saw, that's why we were actually saying they mustn't even underrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So we'll give it to Musa. I'll give it to Musa anyway. Like my other man has said, but you see, it's how you organize your administration. If you are well organized and the players' morale is high, believe you me, there won't be all these nitty-gritties that you have to sort out. It makes your work very easy.
Vachali, Kitwe United versus City of Lusaka.
This is a side which is troubled, Kitwe United, because of some administrative issues. I hope they have put those problems aside. For City, new coach, they need new results. A slight edge, City can actually get this one.
And it's interesting.
Albert is coming back.
Albert is coming back to face his boys. And we hear he has taken about 3 from Kitwe United. He has weared them to City. So this is very interesting. I think at some point you'll be forgetting which team is coaching on the terraces. I mean, it's too soon.
With those
he left 2 weeks ago. You know.
Other man, Changa Rangers versus Jumulo. Changa just moved into the top 4.
Changa are playing at home. They have moved into the top 4. This is a position I think they would want to cling on. And they're going in
Jumulo number 5
for the first time,
and these 2 teams are on the same points.
Yes,
only separated by 4 goals difference.
So obviously this is the game to watch. Changa Rangers will be enjoying home ground advantage. They have more experienced players. Jumulo has not replaced the 2 Ghanaians who are helping them get goals.
The 3 players.
Yeah, they have lost 3 key players. From that time, they have been struggling to score. You know, of course, they defend well, but up front, they've lost some teeth. Aboyaji, I think, has left a big gap. In that Jumulo setting. Slightly, it leans towards Changa Rangers. Changa Rangers must not underrate Jumulo.
They mustn't.
Jumulo are not pushovers. They just have to sweat and fight for it. An opportunity has presented itself for them to
top 4.
To be entrenched into the top 4.
Okay. Eva Chris Lumwana top of the league without kicking a ball. Because Kaiser didn't show up, but they're going to Livingston, and they're actually already on the way, and they play Livingston Pirates. Do you think they can solidify their top position?
It's
against one of the draw masters. I think
well, the
Livingston Pirates.
Yeah,
they've got the second highest number of draws in Eden University.
Draw masters. The advantage here is Lumwana have started off early. So that fatigue and all that, they won't give any excuse and all that. But believe you me, Council of Pirates can be very stubborn at home, even if you expect them to probably get a point. But I see Pirates coming with 3 points from this game.
Okay. All right. And Trident versus Quattro. Vachali.
Logo Day.
This is Northwestern Derby, and Quattro, I think, have been dropping points. Trident also turning into draw specialists. A draw is written all over this fixture. Yes.
Young Green Buffaloes, Young Green Eagles.
The battle of the servicemen. Another draw written all over that fixture.
Another draw written all over this. Kaiser versus Muflira Wanderers. Chris?
Are they ready to play? Kaiser.
That's the question. They'll be ready.
They will be home. Are they ready to play?
They will be well rested.
Well rested, but a well rejuvenated, wounded side. That's a team they should expect. So it's fireworks. Believe you me, it's fireworks. And
Kaiser is winning.
It's a pity I'm traveling to Chingola. I'm driving to Chingola. But if it wasn't for that, I was going to go to Cap. Believe you me.
Kaiser 2, Muflira Wanderers 1.
Yeah. But Pius, you haven't actually seen what's been happening. We will leave it there. You should ask the CEO of Muflira Wanderers. He will tell you. Ask about the man. He will tell you.
Charlie, Zesco Valaiti Gomes.
I think for Gomes, one of their coaches, I think, has even changed the camp. That is George Piri. He has been roped into the Jumulo setup, a little bit depleted. But this is a game which also has a draw written.
Luapula Green Eagles, Napsa Stars. Can Napsa shape up Otherman?
Well, Luapula Green Eagles have no respect for teams, mostly when they're at home. Napsa will have to work very, very hard to get maximum points. But I think they can afford to get a draw. Yeah. Luapula Green Eagles play very well.
Yeah.
They've lost few games there.
Though I'm looking at their form, they've lost 4 out of the last 5 games.
Yeah, then they're really having a rough time. But if you look at those draws, they've picked them at home. I think the last team to share spoils with them was it not last week? Yeah, you were giving us results.
Yes, I think it was last week.
Yeah, it was last week. They were home.
They were home.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But also, this is an Napsa side which underrates teams. They are a bit pompous.
They play their game before they've played.
You shouldn't do
And
that.
just,
have respect for the opponents.
Other man, we just need to talk about, you see, football is played on the pitch.
Yeah.
These mind games of traditional aspects being involved and all that, come on, it's way gone, it's long gone. These things don't actually even work. Just play your football and it ends there, period.
It's 11 for 11. Respect the opponents and work hard and you win.
All right, so the table is as follows. From the bottom, Zesco Malaiti, 16 points on 18, 17 Police College, 17 points, Livingston Pirates, 16th position, 17 points, Luapula Green Eagles, 15th position, 20 points, Kaisa, 14th position, 20 points, Quattro Kalumbila on 13, 20 points, Muflira Wanderers, number 12, 25 points, Gomes, number 11, 26 points, Young Green Buffaloes, 10, 26 points, 9 City of Lusaka, 26 points, Quito United, 8, 29 points, Trident, 7, 29 points, 6 Young Green Eagles, 30 points, Jumulo, 5, 30 points, 4 Nchanga Rangers, 30 points, FC Muza, 33 points, number 3, number 2 Napsa Stars, 39 points, and Lumwana Radiants, number 1 with 39 points. Okay, the Super League. As we look at the Super League, Otherman, give us Super League results for this last weekend and today.
Well, it was Red Arrows 3, Nkana nil. Power Dynamos nil, Prison Leopards nil. Lusaka Dynamos nil, Green Eagles 1, Nkwazi 1, Konkola Blades 1, Zanaco 1, Green Buffaloes 1, Kaya Warriors nil, Kansanshi nil, Indeni 1, Kafio Celtic nil, Buttcon 2, Forest Rangers nil, and Chambishi nil, Zesco 1. Of course, this afternoon it was Zanaco 1 and the Green Eagles 1.
Well, Charlie, what is your view on Zanaco? They have their eyes on Africa. That if you look at their form, they have had 4 draws in a row. 4.
And 2 of those games they have played in advance.
Yes.
You get a point? Because they'll be involved on 13th February. They start their campaign in the CAF Confederations qualifiers. So
I think for Zanaco's form, this season has been very
like
erratic.
They are not really. They don't have eyes on the league. So it seems.
A lot of things are going on behind the scene. Marlon Kananda, their CEO, was pushed aside. Somebody else came in. The technical bench, Kelvin Kaindo, has been there. 11 players pushed aside, bringing in new players. So I think it's a question of players trying to gel for Zanaco. And one eye, like you rightly put it, has been on the CAF Confederations Cup. and could be a point that they didn't have a lot of depth in their team. And there's been a lot of changing and chopping in terms of their starting 11. You don't even know which team will turn up for the CAF, the league. So for Zanaco, I think slowly they are getting it right, but they are not sitting pretty. They are on position number 9 after today's draw. It's a big team, and so far it's the only team left in the CAF Confederations Cup. And for Kelvin Kaindo and his technical bench, I think games are on. They will need to grind results in one or the other if they have to get into the top 4. It won't be easy because a lot of teams are hoping. Power Dynamos is hoping, Green Eagles is hoping to get into the top 4. Zesco is equally pushing. It won't be easy for Zanaco. I hope that the players that they have brought in now will add value to their setup. 11 have gone. This is why you find players like Mangani Banda, third choice, joining Kana FC. They are roping in new players, but it's not yet over. They have a few more games to go for Zanaco.
Chris,
Yeah.
Buildcon, are they resurgent?
You know,
4 out of 5 wins of their last 5 games. 4 wins.
just like
with a thin bench.
just
With a
thin bench. But you see,
Wait, Rwanda is alone.
They beat Forest Rangers in Ndola Davi over the weekend.
of course, I'll tell you something that you might not all agree with me. Is our league very competitive? Why I'm asking that question is because this is a Buildcon team that keeps on, it wins twice, loses the next 2, and then draws. This is the same Buildcon team that we're talking about. You've talked about the thin technical bench and the players they have. They have players that are average. So for me, when I assess this and I analyze this and say, for Buildcon to be at number 5, it's not a true reflection. For me, it's not a true reflection of what we're seeing. I'm telling you right now, this league is not competitive. For me, it's not competitive.
But one can argue they've been in this position in this league.
Last season, what happened? And the previous, the transition league, what happened with Buildcon? We're talking about the same Buildcon. And they started dropping points. They'll start dropping points. Just like you said, you don't trust in Changa Rangers. I don't trust Buildcon. I've never trusted Buildcon.
Okay,
Mixed results all the time.
Other man, Zesco scoring in the second minute and beating Chambishi 1-0, courtesy of John Chingandu.
Yeah,
He's been a faithful soldier. Hasn't he been here over 10 years now?
Yes, he has been very, very faithful indeed. So the youngsters are not coming to the party. You know, Numamba has brought in a lot of youngsters, but it's Chingandu who usually, comes to carry the team on his shoulders. Well, it's not an easy venue to pick results from. Chambishi. Chambishi tend to frustrate whichever team comes there. And indeed, very few teams have collected maximum points. So it was a good result. Zesco are having their own problems. They're not so convincing. We have talked about this for a long time. It's not the Zesco that we know, but they're slowly grinding results. But have they reached the peak where one could just stand up and say, oh, Zesco are picking it? Certainly not. They've had 2 wins in a row, of course. Not convincing margins. It's been 1-1. Against Chambishi, one would have expected even 2 or 3 if it was the other Zesco that we knew. But what matters is 3 points. I think they deserve to be congratulated.
Indeni. As Odawa said, underrate them at your own peril.
And what was Vaatha saying? No, they are a fist team.
Bachari, Indeni.
Yeah, this is a game I
beating
watched.
Kafue Celtic 2-1.
Yeah, I think the change in terms of the bench, I think, has steered them back to life. David Chilufya had left at some point, joined Buildcon, recalled by the Exco for Indeni. Good move, and results are showing on the pitch. I watched this game. It was an early kickoff, and for Indeni, I think they are playing attractive football. And at one point, they were pegged back by Kafue Celtic. It was 1-1. But Indeni had to show it towards the end, getting a win. So for Indeni, slowly, they are getting it right. And David Chilufya. For Kafue Celtic, a lot of youngsters. Kangwanda scored the equalizing goal. Brilliant player. But I think a bit of maturity is lacking in the Kafue Celtic setup. At one point, I talked about Sidney Kalume joining NAPSA. How I wish for Kafue Celtic, they need a veteran player just to help out the young stars. They are playing all the football, but it's just in the final third where they seemingly are missing the point. And games are getting fewer for Kafue Celtic. Slowly they may start counting their stay in the Super League. But for Indeni, a good result.
Very good result indeed. And Prison Leopards nil, Power Dynamos nil. Chris, a few messages of disappointment, a few messages encouraging that Power is going to end in the top 4. I remember watching this game. I didn't see much from Power.
You know, for me, it's a very thin line right now, because I'll tell you something. It's discouraging for Power to ascend with such a period of time. And then I'm not trying to underrate Prison Leopards. They're a good side. But Power Dynamos is expected to pick up points at home. And then going by what we've heard from the reports, that they didn't play an attractive kind of game, the one they usually play. I think people were there can testify to the kind of game they played. People were very disappointed. You know, for Power to pick up a point against Prison Leopards, come on. And when they're really vying for the top 4 and you want the top 4 and then you pick a point at home. Because then what are you building on? Like the coming of this next fixture. How do the players get psyched up? How do they get motivated? Especially when you're coming from a draw. So for me, that's not a good reading for Power Dynamos. I expected them to bag in the 3 points, especially if they're challenging for the top 4 and they're challenging for the Premier Division.
And from the messages passed, I think there was one who was asking about Brian Mwila and Kennedy Musonga.
And the update, yes.
Yeah, these are players who have been injured. And for Kennedy Musonga, I think he got injured in the previous game, missed the Green Eagles game and the Prison Leopards game. So they were a little bit thin in terms of up front. There was only the youngster Joshua Mutale who missed chance after chance. But the culprit of the afternoon was Godfrey Ngwenya. He didn't play his usual kind of game. A little bit wasteful. He had golden opportunities to bury the ball, which he didn't. Power, in terms of percentage, I would give them 58%, I think. And then for Prison Leopards, they have introduced a very, very good central defender, making his debut, had a stellar game, brilliant defender. He played very, very good football.
Now, let's talk about Power outside the football. There was a comment that the coach made, I think, which has been blown out of proportion.
Yes.
You know, when I first heard about it, I heard people complaining, why is Manyachi people castigating the executive in the media and so on. But when I looked at when I looked at the verbatim, what he was trying to say, I don't think there was anything that can offend anyone. Basically, what he was saying is that the executive had promised to bring in as many players as possible, but only one has come. As a result, the team has been hit with injuries, and the depth is not there. So he's using almost the same players, and they are tired. And then he made an appeal to to Power Dynamo supporters not to be shouting the youngsters that he has been
Yeah.
forced to be using from because they need to grow, They need
Pressure.
confidence. Now, if you just shout and insult them, then the atmosphere will not be conducive for them
Yes.
to develop. That's exactly what he was saying. I don't think there's anything wrong in what the coach said.
I think,
You know,
Baudaman, I concur with you very closely there. But what I think is status quo that has been created in Zambia. Every time you say something that is right towards the executive, it's like you're chopping them off. And people don't want the truth.
Yeah.
What he simply said was the truth. And it's
Yes.
got a thin...
It's true.
It's true. So is it that he said it on the wrong forum, or he should have actually just said it and he should have kept quiet?
In addition to what Alderman has said, I think the media team, they need to bridge that gap in terms of disseminating information
Yeah.
from the coach, from the supporters, and from the exco. I think their media team, they need to actually give out a lot of information so that there is no misrepresentation. I read that article as well, or for Mwenya Chipepo,
Yes.
but I didn't understand fully the context. That is why I'm saying the media team for Power Dynamo
Should clarify.
they need to bridge that gap.
yeah, maybe that's the way to go.
Chris,
Yeah.
Green Eagles, they won on over the weekend, beating Lusaka Dynamos, who have been relegated to bottom of the league through a Warren Kunda goal. But today they had a chance to go second, and they failed to beat Zanaco, to take that opportunity to go number 2.
You know what to expect from Lusaka Dynamos. Lusaka Dynamos this season are not serious competitors, and that's why they're languishing there. They've got their own problems which they've failed to resolve. But at the same time, Green Eagles' intention, their desire to represent Zambia, like in the Comfort Cup or the Champions League, they should actually, the statement should be out there. Are you going to be winning, or are you going to be dropping points? You can't win today and tomorrow you drop points and then the next day you draw and all that. As much as the games may be difficult, but at the end of the day, I think is it today's result? They won, they drew.
They drew with
Yeah,
Zanaco 1-1.
with Zanaco, it's a fair result. It's a fair result, but this one they had it coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bachani Nkwazi, they drew with Konkola Blades, having scored both goals. An own goal from Crawford Mwaba, and then Christopher Zulu equalized for Nkwazi. But the second period, no goals.
I feel for Konkola Blades because they have got a very good fan base in Chilabombe. They really tried to push their team, and they were playing away. I know that Charles Wale is back now at the helm, and they were leading at one point, Konkola Blades, only to actually have an own goal. But for Nkwazi, I think at one point they were keeping the second slot for many weeks, and now they are getting down the table. But for Blades, I think on the second from the bottom, not very good for them. Otherwise, they'll find themselves campaigning in the Eden University. So a draw, not very good for Konkola Blades.
Alderman, I think you can start on the game which had the biggest talking points of the weekend. Red Arrows 2, Nkana 0.
3.
Sorry, 3.
It was 3 actually.
You're taking away one. Bali
Sorry,
basuma
my
ba
Red
red.
Arrows supporters.
Bali
sorry.
basuma ba red. Bali basuma.
Red Arrow supporters.
Yes.
What-
So, first of all, before we talk about the soccer, what happened with the jerseys?
Yeah, I think I had a lot of messages seeking clarification. Now, here is what the law says. In Zambia, a traveling team is the one that must have options to change should there be a clash of jerseys. A team that is traveling, all right? Before the season starts, all teams are required to register their colors for home games and away. So they will register one color for home and 2 away. Now, the way it is that when you travel and there's a collision in terms of colors, there's no doubt about it. The traveling team has to find an option. So that's why, we encourage teams to arrive at stadia early so that there is some pre-match meetings to look at the jerseys, to look at any other issues that may disrupt the game. Now, I'd talked about the mind games. This is the game Red Arrows wanted to win at all costs. It started with the ticketing and so on. With you heard what they posted. So they were Nkana had gone to Lusaka, I think, on a Wednesday. I think they had intelligence. Those are soldiers. They had intelligence that Nkana had carried only 2 colors, and that is red and white. So what Arrows did was just play on them. They put on a red and white jersey. They put on a jersey which had red in front here and white in the rest, so that whichever color Nkana used could clash with that jersey, and that's exactly what happened. Nkana started with white. It clashed. The referee said we can't. They changed it to red. It was the same. I thought these clubs were sister.
All the arithmetic.
Imagine. These are sister clubs. Under normal circumstances, Red Arrows who are at home should just have gone into there, because Red Arrows have a blue jersey. They have complete red and complete white. If they had used any of those, then Nkana could have used the colors that...
Couldn't they have negotiated with Arrows for them to use their complete red
That's
jersey?
what Arrows didn't want. They wanted Nkana to be frustrated. If you are frustrated, you know what happens. Football is lost not on the pitch. Sometimes you lose it way back. That's exactly what they wanted. Arrows is a rich side. They have so many colors, but they didn't want to be gentlemen in blankets. They decided to be difficult. But I thought those are sister clubs. That's what we have been told time and... So Nkana had to look for an alternative kit. So they had to drive around, and that's how they found youngsters playing football. They were from an academy. That's how they got that jersey. And then Nkana were going to get in trouble, because by law, the game must not go beyond 30 minutes.
Yes.
If it goes beyond, then you're in trouble. You'll be fined, and then you'll be hit with a 3-0 scoreline.
Yes.
So they had no choice but to find that alternative jersey. So who is to blame? It is very, very clear that you can't take the blame to Red Arrows, because they were given room for that. Ghana should have picked all their colors.
Well versed by
They have a pink, they have a purple jersey, which should have solved that problem.
Exactly. And
They
had traveled much earlier on a Wednesday.
Now
Yeah?
it has that has implications. They used a jersey which contravened the contract with their sponsors.
Their sponsors.
There will be issues, because
Yeah.
that will be saying, "What? Come on, that game. What happened?
Exactly.
You're supposed to be donning in our colors." So there will be questions. And the 2, Ghana is a big brand. You can't expect them to go into the street and pick a... Who handles
From Chris Kalota Academy.
You see, we should have... Ghana should have done better. They should have foreseen all this. they should have gone with the. That's why they register 3 colors.
Yeah.
It's a lesson now. Whoever is handling that.
Alderman, sorry to cut you.
Whenever you travel, pick all the 3, because no one will be a gentleman. This is football. It's about psychology. Red Arrows could have made matters easy. They would have gone into white, and Ghana was going to use red. They would have gone into red, and Ghana was going to use white. But they wanted to play on the psychology of Nkana. They used red and the white. And then the Red Arrows were aware that the other kit had been left.
Listen, gentlemen, that's besides the point. Like he has said, Nkana is a big side. Nkana were prepared for this game. So they dug their own grave. And they had to sleep in their own grave. They dug their own grave. Nkana is a professional team. Can you imagine we have our league is rated number 6 in Africa? And let's suppose that game was being shown on TV. What image are we translating out there? No, Nkana got no excuse. First, should just discipline Nkana.
Supposing they went to play our alley.
Yeah, okay.
And our alley were red and white.
Just to cut the story short, first should just discipline Nkana. Period. They made a mistake.
But also, let's talk about sportsmanship here. Red Arrows are a military side. You expect a lot of sportsmanship spirit to come from there. And like I said, Nkana sister clubs to Red Arrows. Surely, I'll commend, go back a bit, I'll commend NAPSA Stars. When NAPSA Stars were competing in CAF Confederations, there was the team that they played last, was it Namungo also? The team arrived.
It was from Tanzania.
It was from Tanzania, and the kit delayed, and they got worried because they were not training. The kit got entangled somewhere, and what NAPSA did was to get their kit and assist that team. Notwithstanding that they were going to meet them in a competitive game or over the weekend. That's what you do as sportsmen and women.
But
we Africans, it's unfortunate. You know that.
As much as
NAPSA did what sportsmen and women are supposed to do. They gave that team, they gave them water. There was a team which came from the one which was using buses, you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it Arrows who gave them water?
Yes.
And then NAPSA gave the whole kit, training kit, to the opponents. And what happened? They even beat them. NAPSA even beat that team. So that's how it's supposed to be. But you see, to play such, to me, I would say foolish mind games.
Sportsmanship or no sportsmanship, at the end of the day,
and I'm with you, Chris,
sportsmanship
on what
or
you're
no
about
sportsmanship,
to say.
believe you me, at the end of the day, this was a crunch game. Very competitive. Believe you me, nobody wants to drop 3 points. And you see, just to cut the story short, this thing, it was dead and buried. Nkana knew. For God's sake, Nkana knew they were going to Lusaka. Like Alderman has said, they should have taken their third strip, the paper one. All these things, mind games and all that,
but
they're not going to be there.
So let's not
try and comfort Nkana and try and...
No. Let's balance it up, eh? Nkana can have an issue. Nkana can have an issue because they will say, you as Red Arrows registered one color for your home, but they turned up with two colors. Have you seen? That also is an issue because Nkana will say we got 2 because we knew that they were going to use one of them. But there it was.
But on that one, I the only thing I can say is not everybody is a gentleman.
No.
So I think Nkana should have been ready.
We have made it very
especially
clear.
that Red Arrows had
at
been
home
showing desperation to win that game.
Days with mind games.
Days before.
No, on that one we have made it very clear. Except we're trying to weigh both sides and say at least, although you want points, you see, Sorry, I'm not trying to waste your time. I'll also give you another experience. When I was an active referee, Lusaka Dynamos were home. It was a Super League game. Ron United were in the Super League. Ron United traveled with the one set, and it collided with the Lusaka Dynamos, who were home. And Lusaka Dynamos had about 3 sets. They also refused to change. Ron United had to run all over. They went to Mtendere, and it's like Mtendere is famous. That's why all teams which are stranded with jerseys, they find there's so many teams there. So Ron United got a set from there, came back, and I was looking at my watch. They were 25 minutes from losing the 3 points. They came back 15-25. Consulted my match commissioner. We allowed the game to... But I was very, very annoyed. I had tried to reason with Mr. Yeah, you remember it was Mr. Nifadam himself was there. We had tried to plead with the team manager. Can't you change it? Just for the sake of your... no, why? What? They refused. And you know what? Ron beat Lusaka Dynamos 3-1. Then I said, they're being punished now. They won't even a funny jazz. It was like small. And this time players jumped. The tummy could be exposed. But anyway, the point I'm driving at is that sports is not supposed to be played under such an atmosphere. Let us have administrators who are going to have a thin line between, winning everything, and the NAPSA stars demonstrated what is supposed to be done, in my view, and you don't lose anything. NAPSA stars, to me, I'll keep praising them. It's very, very rare. You see, we should not be doing what happens in North Africa and West. Those are hostile, and that is part of their winning schemes.
I'll let Vachali talk, because
it is not
Yes,
good.
Vachali, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah.
No. Just, I think a lot has been said. I think this afternoon there was a meeting between Nkana and Red Arrows. They were trying to find a way of avoiding such issues in the near future. Because if there was an element of brotherhood, like Alderman has said, I think we shouldn't have gotten to this where we are. It's very sad that a thing of such happened where a game is delayed for more than 20 minutes in the Super League. Very, very unfortunate. But Nkana had a meeting this afternoon with Red Arrows, talking about the same, talking about the hooliganism which was there, the sale of alcohol at the stadium, and many other things. I think FAS, in their constitution, they must look at some of these old issues, so that a better way of doing things can be found, where they have maybe a match briefing, so that you exchange notes in terms of the team which is at home. But there are a few issues that need to be sorted out in the FAS constitution.
Sorry not to cut Vachali short, because of a bit of experience in this. The other team I can commend is Zanaco. Those days that we used to be referees, Zanaco were very flexible. Okay, let's do this. But others, I don't think they should be in football administration. That type of hostility.
You will get that out of my...
Yeah, it's true.
That's competition.
Yeah, but you see, in football, I mean, in sports in general,
you always have something.
Why do we get in sports? We want to create
an atmosphere,
But even a phone call would have sorted out this issue.
No, it was a phone call cannot do anything, even an email, because they will say this on phone briefing, and then surprise you the very minute, because it's an intention. You get the point? This is a red arrow side which has pure white.
No, I'm saying
it has pure red.
Going forward.
They have blue, which they unveiled, which has a 10. in front here. You know? So Red Arrows, they're an intention. They are not wrong. It's their home. But also...
I think what is clear is Red Arrows had an intention. Though from some of the examples you've given and I feel teams need to help each other out.
Yes.
Because it would be sad if Nkana went around looking for a jersey and they failed to find one.
You see?
And they lose 3 points.
And were they going to celebrate that 3 points?
Yes, it would be such bittersweet a win in poor taste, should I say.
Let's get
I
proper
think
administrators.
the football should win at
Precisely.
the end of the day.
And then that game attracted a lot of nasty things which we thought of.
It's sad that even the national team coach was watching his first local game.
A national team coach comes to watch a local team, and then such things happen. You know,
people throwing things,
bottles are thrown, and then the bees were also at the corner saying, "Oh, you are messing the game through jerseys and bottles. It means you don't want to play." The bees came, and that is also another.
But you see, Alderman, like you're talking about that, you're talking about security, isn't it? We've witnessed that. We witnessed that at Shinde.
Yeah.
When that incident happened of the red yellow card, people started going in, match commissioner, everybody. I also witnessed a similar incident at Arthur Davis. That day there were only 4 policemen. Four policemen. And it wanted to turn into something like a fracas. So it's the home side to make sure that there's security. Arrows should have made sure that the security was tight and it was in place. That's the first thing that you begin with. You don't want to have pandemonium or something like what happened in the Africa Cup of Nations.
I don't mean to label Nkana, especially if Nkana is coming.
Yeah, if you know Nkana is coming, and Nkana
make sure there's security.
Not even that, and they've been troublemakers, because we know they're troublemakers. We cannot run away from that fact. Huh?
Okay, gentlemen, the coin has been tossed, and it is penalties.
Penalties. Yeah.
So the captains, as we speak, the captains are choosing the sides and who's going to go first. And
it's a very cruel way of deciding who goes. You know.
Yeah. Okay, so now looking at the table and the way it stands, very, very quickly. Lusaka Dynamos at the bottom of the table on position 18. Konkola Blades 17 with 16 points. Both have 16 points, Konkola Blades and Lusaka Dynamos. Chambeshi are on 18 points, number 16. 15th position, Kafua Celtic on 20 points. Kansanshi Dynamos, number 14 on 21 points. Cabo Warriors, number 13 on 25 points. Indeni, number 12 on 26 points. Number 11, Prison Leopards on 26 points. Then Prison Leopards, Forest Rangers, number 10 with 26 points. Number 9 is Zanaco on 29 points. And Kwazi 8, 29 points. 7 Nkana, 30 points. 6 Power, 30 points. 5 Buildcon, 31 points. 4 Green Buffaloes, 32 points. 3 Green Eagles, 33 points. 2 Zesco United, 34 points. And Red Arrows, number 1, 39 points. Very, very quickly before we go into other news, Chris, is Red Arrows running away with it?
It's too early.
Do they have the potential?
They've got the potential, but it's too early, and we just have to wait and see from the teams that are coming from behind, the pretenders like Buildcon, and then we've got true contenders like Power and Nkana, who've shown intent in the previous games. So it's too early. For me, it's too early.
Well, Charlie, is it too early, number 1? And number 2, who can give them a run?
I think Zesco are on their heels, but for a change, like I keep saying, Red Arrows are in poor position to get this one, but other teams are pushing also.
All right. Alderman, your sentiments.
It's tricky, like my colleague said, it's a bit early, but we have to look at consistency here. Zesco will always be among the top 4, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, but this is the championship, which is still very much open. and we will have to wait for the next 6 fixtures or so.
Yeah.
No one has run away with it yet. Arrows leading by 5 points, if I'm not mistaken.
5.
Yeah, so 5.
Yes,
just
5 points.
2 games. Yeah, it's 2 games. If they have been consistent, they have not lost in a long time. They have very good form, and they can go all the way. They have a very good team, which I think has found form, and you cannot take anything away from them. They have beaten the teams which perhaps should have threatened them. They have beaten Zesco twice. They have beaten Green Eagles. So this is perhaps they are 10.
Okay.
You can't rule them on it.
Alderman, I can give you 5 minutes for other news.
5 only today.
5
I don't have so much. The stadium rehabilitation is finally on. That's very good. But there's one thing which I was not happy. I've learned that it will be artificial turf for the 5 stadia that will be built. I'm against artificial turf, bias. I'm very, very much against artificial turf. 1, it's difficult to maintain, and then 2, when your players are used to artificial turf and you go into CAF competitions with natural grass, they have problems. You're going to have problems. I'm going to find out from first tomorrow, but I'm told these will have artificial turf. Yeah. So within the next 6 months, we shall have complete rehabilitated teams. Stadia across the country. That is very, very good. Yeah, I think that will be very good. More especially that they are strategically placed. You can send a team to go and do some camping in Luapula, in Livingstone. That will be good. Now, some good news. We cannot all be talking about sadness. Zambia's women's netball team has been ranked 5th in Africa. Wow. I think this is the highest we've reached. So people should not just be talking about, no, Kamanga out, Kamanga this. We should judge him overall. I think with the women's teams and the youth teams, we've been doing well.
But you said Zambia's women's netball
team.
Did I say netball?
You said netball.
So I'm confused. Even
then you mentioned Kamanga.
So I was like, so I started relating it to.
No, it is actually the
women's
football team.
Yeah, it's a football team. So they've lined up like this. South Africa, of course, number 1. Uganda 2. 3 Malawi. 4 Zimbabwe. 5 Zambia. 6 Namibia. 7 Botswana. 8 Kenya. 9 Tanzania. 10 Lesotho. Okay. Then we move. Friday Sam has gone to Maritzburg. Is it a good move or not? Well, we have to wait and see. This is the area where we have seen our players coming back without success. Muowo, the other Zesco fellow. Kambole.
Lazi.
Yeah, we have also this one was at Birim at Power Dynamos.
Super Sport.
Yeah. Well, I think it's good for this player.
For me, it's a good move.
Yeah,
I think for him personally, I think it's a good move.
He had 14 goals, eh?
Yeah,
he had 14 goals.
Of those 14, how many were penalties?
3.
5.
5.
Five.
Not 5
penalties.
Yeah.
Let's hope we
looking
at the top scorers charts. If I have to remove 5 goals just to see from open play, he would still be top scorer.
Yeah, still be top scorer.
Yeah.
So that's why, for me, it's a good move.
Okay, Chaniza Zulu has left Power Dynamos on mutual consent. Well, I thought, in my view, they should have kept him. This is a young man who has a promising future, but he has been facing a lot of competition. Now, one sad aspect, Indian Roses in limbo. This is the women's team where the national team players have been coming from, a number, even our goalkeeper, you know. The league is starting next Wednesday, and there's no activity. Remember, Indeni as a company is on care and maintenance. And they are not even sure if this team will come back to the pitch. There's been no word. So we have to appeal to the minister to intervene so that at least this team can
Shouldn't
continue.
be killed off.
You know, this has to continue. Pius. It has produced a lot of national team players.
Yeah.
Even just the activity, you know, I had one fan who was very complaining. Was complaining was actually saying with Indeni being under care and maintenance, it's going to affect the social aspect.
But
welfare,
it appears
that
the men's team, the one in the National League who I've just been praising, it appears that one has not been affected much. But the women's team, it
Has been highly
no
affected.
word to the technical bench and to there's been no training. I know they're following penalties.
Yes, Egypt is in pole position.
Oh my!
Cote d'Ivoire
Those
has missed one already.
They're in trouble.
That's
what they wanted.
Yes, the
was
Arabs
the only way they were
don't
going to
easily
win
do
it.
chimise.
you can't be hitting penalties like that.
You see, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
Then the new coach, after watching Red Arrows in Ghana, he was very impressed with Ricky Banda and Joseph Piri of Red Arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the youngsters who even scored. They shared those goals. Yeah. And on a sad note, 8 fans died when Cameroon played, and about 37 were injured. Maybe we can follow the penalties, Pius, so that...
Yes, so far, they have both
These guys are hitting
Cote
penalties.
d'Ivoire have scored 3, and Egypt 4 penalties. Zaha has just scored that one for Cote d'Ivoire. Hold on, let me read the amount just here, because Mohamed Salah is just about to take a penalty. Supporting Cote d'Ivoire, and they've been so good.
You can
But
imagine.
and Egypt haven't been really good from right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning.
But you know, I mean, knockout stage.
It's a different game.
It's a different ball game, and that's how these experienced sides they know it. Tunisia knocked out. Tunisia knocked out Nigeria on the same premise.
Yes, exactly.
So Egypt has won the final, scored the final penalty, and yes.
They've qualified.
They've qualified. And
A good team
Cote
was-
d'Ivoire have gone home.
Very cruel way of going home. Very cruel.
Who missed for Cote d'Ivoire?
I'm not
So
sure.
it's 4-5, isn't it?
Yes, 4-5.
Shortest penalty, Tasso have.
Yeah.
And Patrice Bomeo,
Patrice Bumel. Yeah,
coach
exactly.
for Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes, he's done very well, huh?
Yeah, he's done.
He's done very well. with Cote
Welcome
d'Ivoire.
back in another.
Not
5-4.
take it lightly.
Yes.
Yeah, they were hoping that they would get to the quarterfinals.
So many North African teams in the quarterfinals?
3.
Oh my God. That's what we feared, isn't it?
And I'd said them, huh? I'd said them.
3. Tunisia, Egypt, and Morocco.
At some
and,
point, they'll play
and
against each other.
Tunisia, having been losing 2 in the group
In the
stage,
group stage.
imagine. And they
What
they
are they doing in the quarterfinals?
Yeah.
You see?
But they against Nigeria, no, they accounted for themselves well. That one I'll give them. Anyway, I can continue with other news.
Yes.
You've mentioned Coach Asanovic, and Justin Chinama has been given a 3-game ultimatum by GBFC.
Yes.
Because they're
He has not won in 7 weeks.
Yes, exactly.
7 games.
That's very worrying. Very worrying.
Yeah, and again they didn't win over the weekend. Then Edward Chidufia is.
But just on that one, is it fair to give Justin Chinama 3 games? Why didn't they warn him when he was winning all the way 9 weeks? I think let's be fair.
Even just 4
Buffaloes
games.
want to get back to continental football.
I mean,
it's been long.
Right now
The Buffaloes.
they are number 4. Right now, they are 7 points off the top.
They don't have.
They should have just kept him, unless you see the ship is really breaking apart.
But you see, this is a team which does not have depth.
Buffaloes were there.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that Munich people was talking
Green
about.
Eagles was there and Green Buffaloes was
Just
there.
it's the same thing that Munich people was talking about. Green Buffaloes have tired legs. They don't have so many options. There's no depth. I don't think the coach is a problem.
It's not.
You see, sometimes we should be realistic as management. We should not always be blaming the coach. Chinama will be forced to start with the same lineup. And by the way, most of those are odd now. We have to be talking about this. Why doesn't Buffaloes become innovative and bring in new talent? It's the only team which was least active on the market. Buffaloes was least active.
Even the last representation. Remember the last representation?
Yes.
About 4, 5, 6 players from this same current team. And you expect to perform.
They had a good run, except that most of their players, I think, are aging.
Yes.
Mike Kativa.
That's where you need it now.
You need to infuse.
The youngsters.
Chirinda Monga.
Chirimba Monga,
And
Kativa,
all
for long.
This is why Friday Summers even left.
Yeah.
Buffaloes.
Even him. he was
Even
Even
there.
if he was, he's been
Tried
around.
somewhere else. And the goalkeeper.
Also, the sports minister was suggesting to Faz that they should be giving shorter contracts as opposed to the. He suggested they review the 4-year contract given
Let him
to
just
the
wait
national team coach because it can be tantamount to wasting money.
No. I don't agree with the minister.
I don't.
I don't agree.
I'm also in
and that's
disagreement with the minister.
That's why if I were a minister, I would leave such matters to
Faz.
to experts.
Exactly.
Because him is just supposed to offer some policy
But he
guidance.
has assured Faz that government will support.
That's
Yes,
good.
but you see,
But don't
when they start
misdirect.
talking about the contracts and so on, then he has
means-
already crossed his
He's
boundaries.
already crossed the line and he's already inside.
crossed his boundaries, and that's what brings problems. All right. This one was deliberately been given 4 years because the short contracts have disappointed us in the past. You see, you need to have a stable squad. After 2 years, this coach brings in this player. By the time the player is trying to stabilize and develop, another coach comes, kicks him out, brings the new one. It was a yo-yo. It was a roller coaster. That's why we didn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
That's why Faz were strategic by bringing someone who already knows the team. Remember, we have to do battle for Mother. They have to do battle for Mother Zambia in May. It's not far. Draws have already been made.
And in the past, the difference with now is we don't have a core squad now.
No.
Because you see, if you find the core squad we have now is Patson Daka, Fashion Sakala, and Enoch Mwep. Those
And Tandi
those who walk straight into the team.
Yes.
And core squad players, you're talking about, for example, that team from 2006-8, which went right up to 2013, where Christopher Katongo, he walked straight into the team. Felix Katongo, straight into the team. Isaac Chansa, straight into the team. Stopira Sunzu, straight into the team. You knew Kalaba, you knew you had about eight players.
Starters.
Yes.
You could those are the ones you call Zambia. Then the other maybe three you yes,
nice.
because now we don't even know who's the goalkeeper.
Mangani.
You see.
And plus on top of that,
Yeah.
I think even giving the coach 4 years, it's a good thing because Zambia and Croatia, they have got a very good understanding.
Yes.
It's long term. So I think they want to see long term investment.
Yes.
The turnover has to be seen from this period going forward.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that Faz has even given him a longer period.
Yeah.
Like you have rightly said, Zambia has no replacement yet for Kennedy Mwene. No replacement as yet.
Yes.
I can even ask Chris that who's Zambia's number one for now.
It
has to be long term.
When Chris says toaster, somebody else will say Zero Chibwe.
You see?
Bradley.
Exactly.
So we don't.
It's tricky business.
In March, we've got friendlies.
About seriously need to start looking.
So somebody needs to build a team, and building a team is not a short contract issue.
No.
Yeah. So you can't start saying
long term now.
It has to be long term. We've seen our mistakes. We've learned from our mistakes. Let us move on and solidify and build from there. The future looks very bright.
And learn how did other countries do it? For example, Germany. How did they do it? Spain.
The coach for
example,
the local one has been there for more than 4 years.
Yes.
Not even that. Even more. 15 years.
He's doing well.
Not even that. Look at. You know, we don't even need to go far. We have our own making here. We saw the 2012 team, how they won it, how they were together. They were together for a very long time. So we don't. I mean, we just need to look back and say, how did these guys do it? Start consulting, even from the people that we don't talk to. Let's sit them down and talk. You guys, how did you do it? And it's already there.
Yeah, very true. All right. So I didn't give out fixtures for the Super League. Let me give that out just before we open phone lines. This weekend we have starting tomorrow, Nkana versus Cover Warriors. On Friday, we have Zesco versus Indeni and Forest versus Power Dynamos. On Saturday, we have CAF US Celtic versus Buildcon, Kansanshi Dynamos versus Chambeshi, Prison Leopards versus Lusaka Dynamos, Green Buffaloes versus Red Arrows, and Konkola Blades versus Zesco United. And on Sunday, Green Eagles versus Nkwazi. I'll give you a minute, 30 seconds each. Otterman, what catches your eye this weekend?
Wow. How will Nkana react after that 3-0 bashing? Remember, Nkana had not lost in 6 games?
Yes.
Yeah, which came to an end. How will they react? Obviously. All eyes are at Chirata, Nkana versus Cow Warriors.
But Charlie?
Deliberately, I'll pick on Kansanshi Dynamos up against Chambishi. Kansanshi Dynamos, of course, expensively assembled, and they are not getting the results. And
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Just the fans, what they are is going through their heads. We've even got Jess Jackson Were. But nothing is happening.
Sometimes it's not the names that win.
And then, of course, up against Chambishi. So I'll keep an eye on this game, because I want to see the reaction of Kansanshi Dynamos under Yobe. And of course, Chambishi. They are trying to fight and stay in the Super League.
But Chris, what is catching your eye this weekend?
For me, it's powerful Power Dynamos. They are away to Forest Rangers. I want to see if Forest Rangers have actually sorted out their issues. We had a lot of infighting. So we want to see if Forest Rangers can come to the party on that particular day, because Power Dynamos will mean business. But if the issues haven't been attended to, like right now at Forest Rangers, then it's 3 points for Power Dynamos.
For me, it's GBFC versus Red Arrows. What is the reaction of Justin Chinama? And can GBFC go with another game without results? And Red Arrows, are they the real deal? Can they stamp over and make sure? Because this one will be one of the nails in the coffin that GBFC will be out of the title race if with a loss to Red Arrows.
And not only that, it could mean now Red Arrows are running away with it. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Because
And
they will have cleared about
8. So that's,
they can clear it.
give it one.
and you
give
see
it
the
another
title
one.
race can be affected by Zesco Indeni. Especially that Indeni is in such good form going to play at Zesco.
Yeah.
It can affect that number 2 position. So you find it to be maybe a 7-point gap if Zesco don't win, and if Zesco don't win, and Green Eagles, if they also do not win against Nkwazi, that would be a runaway for Red Arrows. But it will be an interesting weekend to see how these games are going to pan out.
Green Eagles at home.
Sure, indeed.
The policemen have to really work hard.
Yes. So we are gearing up in the next 2 minutes. Mali versus Equatorial Guinea. Before it starts, other man, who is winning? Mali. Wachali.
Mali.
Chris.
Equatorial Guinea.
Let's take phone calls. 0212
I had to bring in that the icing on the cake.
0212 222 877 0965 000 877. Those are the numbers to call in the studio. We've got, let's see if I. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Papaya.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
I'm speaking to Dingani from Lusaka.
Dingani from Lusaka. Please go ahead.
Mutupere kama fixtures ya nani kane ya Africa Cup. Arifu muna tumfuba odamana warandati arifu. Yani kawo areas pasata jab. Is it maido? Walamu lopola trene chifukushi sana.
Thank you, Dingani. 0212222877 or 0965 Good evening, caller.
Hello, good evening, Papa.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
This is Mr. Tiboria Davison from Solwezi.
But Davison, please go ahead.
Yeah, now possible because I've been trying for the past 5 years to call Flava FM. Nare Silva, Nare Dafa Paganikani, wa famous Renani Yonse. How the man, you may feel better. Pastor Grace.
Sir.
Yeah, we put the program with the Petrimony Swankana. What happened? That's how we got the so I'm happy to talk with you. Just hope my what I'm a bit can in the cow in the Covarias. Just one more the win.
Thank you. 0212222877. Good evening, caller.
Hello, Papa.
Shanba famous.
Wino.
Just now.
Yeah. Ukuisa kuri bola yaba Red Arrows na bankana. Ba Pius bati mwene fe defense 4-5 nambe ya Asia lisana. 4-5 yena tabai pangire bwino bati ukukutu na kufiri kuri Dyson Dore na kuri Chiboni. Kwa quality bwino kama 4-5. So ngani bola ya mairo bakabombere sana ba coach pa pali 4-5 bakarangi ati bali wounded tukamone FY ka pesta 3-0 bakarangi ati bali wounded bankana iligi na ikwalala ngana mumona pamuru bale chinjanya mairo pako Buffalo pa yako Red Arrows paisa kwaba so nkana Donsense Okoshi baro tabara te kwati banga bapamuru nishati bawina ligi ya bale ishapofe wini ligi yesu bapaya na tote.
Thank you very famous. All right. Good evening, caller.
Yes, boss. Good evening.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Carrington from Lusaka.
Carrington, please go ahead. How is Lusaka?
Lusaka is fine.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
I think that was Red Arrows. Yoyo mwachiraranda Red Arrows ngesachiranda Batembo. Efo yava tuambo konkeresha ati bankana vaita namajezi Red and White yara majezi ya vatende. Arrows vilepo vachikirekesha. Ngachakwe vati bankana vakese chita revenge yafira vakachitashana. Erobula vati varete ya continent vaisabe vati vavabani vakuratera outside Lusaka rovanandati varetera Copa Belt varefo kutrena kusabe vata mwatrene nemuchivanza mugesa mupati tuli mazambians loko bachitirete tabafuire bakabwekeshe kubaningira okufara light blue ankana nga bali bapera sefware n'amajezi ayo lero na security namwe shibati mu kibanza muri game munenza ati bari amasoja n'ikisonshi bagombe kibanza fyari mena opyamo na tractor inshi mubari sunga muyamwini efinshi fili muse banya onsewo tabafuire bali kitirete amusango uri balina bize ati bankana natubapesha ligi tete basende barozi ligi iri super teams yatatu ninkana power zesco epari fe parapin barabonse barabari turafi
Thank you, boss. 0212222877. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Ben.
Yeah, I'm quiet. At Ba
Patrick Kundege.
Patrick. London Ba Patrick.
Ndeta chakube wazesco kube walechita. Ane tiba kumpisha kwa win up. Makonka nyepo mtima ola win out.
Thank you, Ba Patrick. 0965000877. Oh, we missed that caller. Good evening, caller. Hello. Good evening, caller. There was someone who was still listening to the radio behind. Good evening, caller. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening. Oh, why are we missing calls? Good evening, caller. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Alishani mkwai, mwabombeni.
Mkwai.
Leo Wachilongo Patrick paka koropa pampanga hapa.
Wachilongo, please go ahead.
Mkwai. Ni mfawa supporter wankana waleanda sana jio ligi ili pa bantu batatu. Mwisanda leti ba Red Arrows. Nga mwachako mpea striking force ya ba Red Arrows na wankana. Pari umupusano, wankana wachirete dipendi. Pari ingonga. Red Arrows nomba pa wakwe chama strikers. Abali 4. Tabare cha dipendi pari chamanga. So, nga tuwachita sana dipendi kwa joo. Ilipari wazesi kwa pari wanani. Mwana mweneko filea. Hello, nga isi achitike pa iyo bareti abankana na Red Arrows. Ila pena tafiachitike. Tafiachitike buino tapari winga cha support kwewa tifile chika Mzambia. Bora ni sportsmanship ya kwewa ati bonse. Kure mfuana no kuendera chapa. Monomba filesi achitike bonse. Tatule cha support. Watotera mposheko wa audamani wa machina.
Thank you, machina.
Okay.
0212222877. Good evening, caller. Hello. Hello, good evening. We can hear someone.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hey, I'm on live on Flava FM.
Yes. Muli live.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. I think live.
Yes, this is Mulenga calling from Kwacha.
Mulenga, please go ahead.
Yes. Chiwezega mambo.
Bachuwe. Please go ahead.
Funa chafo kola. Hello, ndeumfa. Funa chafo kola nda konisi. Hello?
Hello. London boss.
Red Arrows vigita barasenda. Hello, Red Arrows vigita barasenda. Nati Red Arrows vigita barasenda. Red Arrows vigita barasenda.
Hello. Oh. I think. Good evening, caller.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Payas.
Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Shanda Joseph Provashia Ma, Paris Posta.
But Joseph, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. About the Mantembo, I want to
Oh, just cause.
want to remind you about them.
No problem. But Islander.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, thanks. How are you?
Fine, and how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. This is Mr. Mfune Nixon. I'm from Solwezi.
Mfune. Please go ahead.
Yes, yes. I just want to talk about the Kasachi Dynamo. I would like them to at least to look for a coach very fast than waiting for them to start continuing coaching the team. I think we don't want to go back. We want at least to remain in what? Super League. We don't want any experiment. So it would be very much important for them to look for the experienced coach first, so that at least we can remain in the National League. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Papa.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Ali Nyerenda Lusaka.
Ali Nyerenda Lusaka. Please go ahead.
Shani wa Tembo, Shani wa Pastor.
Shani wa Nyerenda.
Thank
you.
Aho tulipia sike kuri bale byaro na nkana rekonde matati awe mero tano no ero amatimu ya kuyeka I think ikintu kinga wama batembo is better mukatika wiki balandishana mrefu ala majezi lakini masanda mrefu ala majezi ya Caravan so that Sunday fika kama problem ya fika I'm sure Kenny last time, when I think in night, Buffalo, like that, never has pick up. So, we can change from the day. If you ya fira isiletu. So that, mapora mene ya live, bantu wanjotamba, tatangatie bora mashimozi. Then I can call the one nauka, I can call the ndeo, ndeo na hivyo, na hivyo maningi. Ameni makambira kuti bora, ilala. Bora nisiona, ilala mkaruza, so tend to understand Tawina.
Thank you. I think there's a potential red card. Sorry, a handball. But I'm not sure what the referee's decision is. Oh, he refused. He refused that. Now,
here and then.
If Ottoman, it hits the head to the hand.
No,
it's not a handball.
Yeah.
Why?
No intention. Just to hit the hand first.
Okay.
There are new rules now which have come in, which
it has to hit the hand first. Okay.
And even the hand. The hands must
be Mr. Caller. Good evening, caller.
Mwabombeni Vatsenga kubulangiriro Power Dynamo supporter.
Vatsenga. London.
Mkwai. Mtani sinami poshandera ndaupe papia tikireba Dallas pali ya bola ya bankana na ngunewo Power Dynamo supporter. Bale Dallas bali kwa tapwe jezi limo iliyeri ya right blue. Nishi basha fualile liye jezi. Pali yoku basi efe angani banga watikireki yana kwa liya tukopa beo tibakiongo. Ale Dallas bali rufianya fili kwa bola no kutushika. Elo chimbi na tirapo kumfako pali Giants kazwe. Bishaili koshani daba udamani. Atotera.
Thank you. Thank you, Vatsenga Mwalanda Buino. But it's true, if Ghana did it, they would have. Yes, exactly. That one now defending Ghana as well.
Can I talk about Jan?
Please.
There are questions coming.
Yes.
So, Jan Skazwe is still at AFCON and is still carrying on with his duties, except this time he's been more inclined to the VAR section other than on the pitch. But there's nothing wrong with him. He's okay. He's still performing his duties. I know people asking.
He did the other Mali game. He was in VAR.
Yeah, he was in the VAR. Because if there was anything very, very wrong, he would have been home as we are talking now. Okay, so Janice Kazwe is okay. Apart from being a central referee, he is also a VAR practitioner or referee. In fact, they are VAR referees. So he's performing his duties, we must say. But I know people expect him to be on the pitch. You know? So he has done both. He was one of the first few African referees to be trained as VAR referee. So that's the answer we can give.
Okay. Maybe let me take 2 callers, then we can... Good evening, caller. Oh, we missed the caller there. Good evening, caller. Hello, good evening, caller.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes. Flava.
Flava here. Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Evening. Mlenga. I'm back again.
Ramlenga, please go ahead.
Nataka kulanda for okay, but for kulanda carefully was just United. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I'm getting you. This is Mlenga here.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, my contribution is that the Kulanda they have a Vesco. If over this, the Kulanda fully party over this, okay, it is about the time of London of our coach. Better than the social media so that they see a one to one. But this United, this we used to know, and just could be there. Yeah, could I win a come.
Thank you. London boss, tuleo mfahamu.
Fileto achitamu ofulodi muliamuli abafula abakoti. This time bola baicha abalibuti. Mulifaika Adrian Chama out, Titi ya Mususu out, Winston Kalingo out. Mama, nomba futi mistakes tukwete wazesiko. Tuwechanga tuwafunya hapo uichive game. Okay, for example, fila Jeswele mukoti, anafula. Mama nati. Fila tuwafumisha po Jeswele. Tuwalingi kuleta quality ya kwa tasisti. Yamone katikati ine Jeswele tetu mufulutu. Nomba la tuwaleta nshishi zenga tukachari gire Jeswele. Padi ula Pedro nshaishi. Mama.
Today on for boss. Okay. Thank you, boss. Okay. 0212222877. Good evening, caller. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm fine, and how are you? Who am I speaking to?
Maplanga.
Maplanga, please go ahead. Hello. Please go ahead, Maplanga. Hello.
Hello, good evening. Is that Flava FM?
Yes, this is Flava FM.
Okay. So this is the better line to get through. I've never gotten it.
Yes.
The Sipo from Lusaka, first time getting through on this platform.
Yes.
I always enjoy the contributions.
Who am I speaking to?
Sipo.
Sipo, please go ahead with your contribution.
Just 2 quick ones, and I hope the panel can weigh in on this. I think there's been a lot of contributions, so they may have a lot to chew on, but I really want the panel to weigh in on this. First of all, the comment attributed to FA's president that perhaps we should also see how we can tap into the diaspora for talent. Does this suggest that, as is this some kind of admitting that what we have locally is not good enough? He said we should find a way of getting that direction. Then secondly, I have no problem with whoever wins the local league, whether it's Red Arrows, whether it's Enkana, whether it's Buttecon. Me personally, I have no problem. The only concern I have is, have any of our clubs demonstrated any sense of ambition as far as continental exploits go? I want the panel to weigh in on that. Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen, can you answer those questions?
I'll take the second one.
Let me take the first one. Very, very valid. No, is Mr. Sipo?
Please go ahead. Yes, Vasipo.
Yes. No, he has raised very, very cardinal points. Obviously, we are thin on the ground in as far as talent is concerned. When the president said, let's cast our net wide, it means that he has seen that we don't have enough quality locally. It's straight admission. This problem has been there because for a long time as a country, we have neglected grassroots football from the primary schools, secondary schools, colleges, universities. We have neglected that area. So we have not been seeing new talent coming up. I will leave the other one to my colleague, Chris.
Yeah,
but it is admission.
Yes.
Look what defenders.
Can I add actually on that one? You can see we need a little bit of improvement on the local talent.
Yes.
The only way we can improve local talent is to develop local talent. And why I'm saying this is I've seen the way Zambia has played its last few games in the World Cup qualifiers and whatnot. I am not surprised after watching this AFCON why we are not there.
Yeah.
Because I asked myself, the way Comoros is playing, can we beat Comoros?
No.
The way Equatorial Guinea is playing, can we compete with Equatorial Guinea? Can we beat Guinea-Bissau?
No.
Can we beat Malawi even the way they were playing? And I asked myself, I think other teams are shifting gears.
Yes.
And we are not. And now it's just it's showing itself completely showing itself, even and it's no surprise why we are not at AFCON.
That's why FAS was forced to sign a memorandum of understanding with the
Croatia,
with the schools.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I attended the launch in at Levi Mwanawasa. This tells you that we should go back to what we used to do. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Chris?
Yeah, I'm actually very happy that I've been vindicated, because earlier on I brought concerns when I told everybody here that you are going to disagree with me. Is this league competitive? And here's a listener who's called in and he's actually demonstrated, and he's actually saying, have these guys shown real desire and intent that they can actually compete at that level, continental level? And this is what I was talking about. But before I answer this, you have to go 2 steps backwards to really see what is the root cause of this. And I think we've already answered that, and that is school football, grassroots football. In 1978, we beat Nigeria. When we beat the Nigerians here, they said, what are these guys doing? What are they doing that they can actually beat us? They went and we told them that what we have what is called ZISA, Zambia schools and all that. That time we had a setup of schools, college football and all that. The Nigerians did exactly what we did, what we used to practice here, and they went back there. That's why we used to have schoolboys like Richard Stevenson, all those players, Kalep and all those players, but when a boy Chilembo. But nowadays you won't find grassroots football being developed. So it is high time, like Alderman has actually said that, you see, I'm glad he even attended the launch of the Zambia schools, but they have to show seriousness. With this Zambia schools football league, college league or football league, there has to be some seriousness. It's not just talking about it and saying, yes, we've signed an MOU and we're going to do this. It takes a lot of hard work. The people who used to organize this football league, believe you me, it used to be very attractive, close to the Premier League. So all in all, for me, just to weigh in on the gentleman who actually called in, all I can say is that let's see what these teams have in what they can actually offer. But at this stage, for me, they're still average. And I'll keep on saying that.
Before Charlie comes to summarize,
let him finish.
There is no serious investment. Let's forget about schools. Assuming you are saying, okay, it will take a long time to develop talent. So let's find the money and buy players across the continent. Which team was invested? Because Zesco have their budget cut. Red Arrows, who are on top 4, have a limited budget. They are a government institution. Green Eagles are a government institution. So to answer Mr. Sipo's question, there's no team which is preparing seriously, because it requires a lot of resources. It requires a lot of money, meaning you have to bring high-class players, about 4 or 5 across the borders. Do we have that? Do we have a team which can splash the cash? Zero. Unfortunately, zero. It used to be Zesco which could do that.
Yeah, but it's been cut.
Zesco has had the budget cut. You know, that's a policy from government. And most of the teams on top 4 are government teams. Mopane are struggling in case Nkana takes it. So let's face it. It's a question of lack of resources. Sorry, Bachari,
sorry. Let me just wind up on this. Yeah. As much as you're talking about investment, I think there has to be a deliberate policy. Yeah. If you've seen what they've done in Botswana and Namibia, to buffer these teams, there's a deliberate policy that they've actually included in the investment. Those people who are coming to invest here, like let's take for instance Mopani and all these others, like Glencoe was a major thing sponsor, but under Mopani and all that, there has to be a deliberate policy whereby these people are supposed to invest high investment. That's why we get mega peanuts like sponsorship for MTN. Cannot even be compared to the South African League, actually.
Oh yeah, the caller is talking about Zambian clubs, that if they qualify to these continental games, are they able to compete? That was the question.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They cannot compete.
Yeah. To actually add on to what you have said already, I think I'll give you one example. Simba in Tanzania is 10 points behind Yanga in terms of their league. Yanga is on 35 points, and Simba 10 points behind. Meaning the other teams are catching up now. There's Yanga and there's Azam. These 3 teams. But look at the way Simba is sliding down in terms of competition. Now talking about our own scenario, and we are Zesco United, who bowed out in the first round, okay, from a team from Eswatini. Even if they win the league this time around, but in terms of competing on the African stage, can they do that?
No, they can't.
Last I think 2 weeks ago when I was on the program, I was saying that I prefer a different team as opposed to having Zesco United again. Red Arrows is leading. Nkana, they are able to compete very, very well in terms of the passage in terms of African competitions. But to answer the caller's sentiments, I think Zambian clubs are not yet ready.
That's what I said.
Pius has been talking about the Africa Cup, that can we beat teams like Comoros? Look at the exposure which the players from Comoros has in terms of playing in the French league, in the Italian league. They have a lot of exposure. Right now we just have about 4 or 5 players who are heavily exposed in our league. The rest are very raw. We cannot compete with countries like Cape Verde. Let's not cheat ourselves. Yeah. We need to actually expose our players very, very much at that level.
I remember one time Kufa actually mentioned it here, and I think we were actually saying maybe it's ranting a lot of emotions, and that Kufa said it. We don't have the quality players. And you know, when you bring out something that is true and something that is evident, said no, we are talking of real talent, real gifted players. Some of us watched her.
But let me not cut you short, Chris. If you don't have quality talent in your,
you do with what you have, of course.
Splash some cash and attract talent. That's what TP Mazembe has been doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, there was one time TP Mazembe, when they won the African Championship, they had the best players around Africa. So if you don't have talent at home, you should
Get abroad.
Get abroad. Splash the cash. So, in short, Mr. Sipo was saying, are our clubs ready?
Are they ambitious? Are they ambitious enough?
Are they ambitious enough?
They're not.
Because
to me, the only teams which are ambitious are those in South Africa and those in Tanzania.
Because they've shown
of late.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
those in Tanzania and South Africa, they are serious. You have to invest, Papias.
Yeah.
Now, in our case, it's opposite.
Have you noticed the scenario is different in West Africa? They've got very strong national teams,
yes,
but their leagues are not that strong.
They're not strong
because they are not investing in the local talent.
But you know what
because their concentration is exporting to Europe.
Yeah, because it's nearer.
Yes.
You know, so that's a different.
So get them into Europe. Yes. So you find Nigeria will assemble a 30-man squad for AFCON, but there is no local player.
Yeah.
For example, like even Morocco, for example. Morocco only has 2 local players in the national team. And that's a goalkeeper, and another player.
That's all.
But you find Morocco, the local players, they won the CHAN. So those players who won the CHAN, they are not there.
Yeah.
You know, so we need such depth. There's a book on Barcelona and their success, especially from the late 90s into the 2000s, and you've seen Barcelona, the graph has only come down now
because of the
and it's not really it's really because of mismanagement. And but because Barcelona they created a model for their La Masia academy, and when they were winning, when they started winning with Ronaldinho, when Xavi, Iniesta, all those people came out of their academy, and a few other players, when Piqué and whatnot, other teams started noticing, and they started sending representatives to go and study the Barcelona model. That's what we need to do. That's why, for example, the 4 years for the coach, we need to study models. What did Germany do? Because they basically 2006 they disbanded the national team and started from zero after losing in the final in 2002. They started from zero with Jürgen Klinsmann and Joachim Löw. We're going to do a new national team with new players, and in 8 years at least we must try and win the World Cup. And they did it.
They did.
You know? It's the same with the Belgium national team. Is it Martinez who was actually there?
Yes.
Did you see what vision he had for the team and how long he's been there and why they've been doing very well? Yes, they didn't win the World Cup and all that, but you can say this is a team that you can actually talk about.
Yeah.
So the route you're talking about, that's the route we need to take.
Yeah. Now, we are talking of AFCON. Gentlemen, first of all, very quickly, Charlie, the officiating, is it a downer? Is it something affecting the outlook of the whole tournament?
I think the officiating has been very, very erratic. We have had strange decisions made. Most recently, the Sadio Mane collision with the goalkeeper. I think that one was a harshly made decision. In short, refereeing has been not on point on this AFCON. Maybe because of the VAR, referees have been very mindful that maybe their decisions will be checked, but a lot needs to be learnt from this AFCON.
Yeah. Otherman?
Well, was somebody with his refereeing background, I've been very, very disappointed. I think we have rushed VAR. This is the first time we are... this is the first AFCON where we are using VAR. Maybe the next one will be better, but I think this one was rushed. The way we've seen it implemented at the AFCON is not the way we see it implemented in Europe week in, week out. Even there, we do have some questionable decisions, but this one, the example that Charlie gave, there was one where which also you notice somebody touches the ball first without any intention of injuring an opponent, is sent home. Very, very unfair.
Unfair.
Football is a game of contact. We referees, what comes to our mind is that contact, was it intentional? You can tell that is intentional by looking at where the position of the ball is and the way the contact is being made. It's very easy. We are trained as referees to tell whether that one is malicious or he genuinely wanted to win the ball. Okay?
So now, for example, a player genuinely wants to win the ball and he stamps another player with his studs, and you can see, but still they're giving red cards for such. For example, like Alex Iwobi, he was not even looking at the player. He was making a turn and he happened to stamp on another player.
They are trying to protect long-term injuries, more especially below the ankle. There are those contacts where you may injure a player, at times not intentionally, like Alderman is alluding to, but some have been minimal contact with no malice, with no intention, but a red card is given out. At times a yellow card would be even appropriate, but I think referees have been warned to protect ankles for players.
As a result, it's unprecedented at this level. We have had more yellow cards than at any other AFCON at the same level.
And red cards.
You get a point. It means either referees have not understood the instruction properly in terms of interpretation. Because if I'm going to raise studs where the ball is and there is no leg, and all of a sudden after I've touched the ball, a leg comes in, how does that become? It means in future we shall now say, stop using studs. We shall change football.
We should just start using safety boots.
Yeah. Because the eyes should be on the ball. In my view, the eyes should be on the ball. Was the contact first with the ball? If it's yes, what happens later, we don't care. Because the contact was first with the ball.
Yeah.
So, there are a lot of questionable. And a lot of people across the continent are worried that we are not going to have a genuine winner. They're saying the winner will come from the boardroom.
Well, Chris, are you of the same view?
I am of the same view. I just want to take you back. Last time I raised the point here, and a few gentlemen were actually saying, no, we are ready to have VAR in Zambia. I said, yes, we may be ready to have VAR in Zambia. But you see, it's the implementation, period. Like what Alderman and my colleague Charlie has actually said. They rushed in doing this, the VAR, putting it there, because, they've actually demonstrated this. The gentlemen here have actually demonstrated the kind of injuries that you actually get. Now, if you have a referee who can't interpret it and it's a very thin line, you're going to have such errors. And when such errors come, it will spoil the game. And then people will be actually saying, no, we don't need VAR. So it needs time to study it. It needs time also even to implement it so that people, even the fans there, won't even be labeling out and saying, this is it's useless, it's not working for us.
Could be that the time of training of the referees was not enough. I think they should bring about maybe a second phase where they should retrain the introduction of the VAR in Africa.
And they're taking
understanding.
They're taking long, In Europe, even when you subject a decision to VAR, within a short time, the decision is made. Now, in our case, it's like that's when the referee is going to do diploma. Now, we are all waiting. That's why, in the first place, I didn't like the introduction of VAR because it takes away the excitement.
And even the replay, it's not coming out very, very well.
It takes away the excitement, and especially if a team had gained momentum, it breaks it out and it just brings out something that is. It's retrogressive. For me, it is retrogressive. As much as technique you want to be... No, it's retrogressive for me.
All right. We have our quarterfinals pretty much set, except the game which is being played right now between Mali and Equatorial Guinea. Alderman, Gambia versus Cameroon. What does that tell you?
It tells you that we don't have small teams now anymore. You know, this tournament has taught us one thing, that you should respect opponents. You don't have small teams per se. One would say, okay, these that have progressed are big and so on. But you have to look at the journey that they went through to reach this stage. Cameroon, of course, I've not been convinced. More especially they are defending. This is a team of players which has conceded at every game. And the coach is failing to sort that problem. You can't have defending. I mean, you can't have a side which is scoring very well, but leaking goals. They have failed to keep a clean sheet. That's where the problem is. And now where they are going, they may concede, and then the team will close the gaps, and they'll be out. Yeah, but for that fixture you mentioned, it's them who can be up.
But Chris, Burkina Faso eliminated one of the most difficult teams to play, Gabon, and they are facing Tunisia, who eliminated favorites Nigeria. What are your thoughts in this fixture? These two games Saturday.
Yeah. Burkina Faso. If you followed their football very closely, the time they hosted the Africa Cup was at 1998. The time they hosted the Africa Cup, 1998, and prior to that, they had started building stadiums, and this is the first country in Africa where academies were started on a very high note. So they've had a base to build from. And if you've seen from the last edition in South Africa, the Africa Cup, and like in Angola, if you've seen, Burkina Faso have been on the upswing. And that is because their grassroots level, their football level at the grassroots level has been rising. It has been consistent from under 14, under 17, under 9, and all that. So they've been very consistent. And that's why, if you've seen Burkina Faso, they're a very technical side. They know when to become offensive, and they know when to put a team structure and a team formation in place. It's not just like kicking the ball and doing that. But just to cut it story short, for me, Tunisia is very technical, but my money is on Burkina Faso.
What might be the quarterfinal to watch, Charlie? Egypt versus Morocco.
I think it can't be any better than this fixture. I think to me this could have befitted to be a final being played at the quarter-final stage. For Morocco, they have got a lot of speed. To me, this is a team which is keeping the stove very hot. They are playing very, very quick football. And Egypt, I think, will have to work very, very hard to defeat Morocco. It's going to be a very, very interesting game. Others may say it's an Arab affair. But I can assure you, if I was to put my money, I would put my money on Morocco. It's a complete side. It has one of the best right backs in the world. Is it Hakimi?
Ashraf Hakimi, yes.
Yeah, playing very, very well. So I think Egypt will have an uphill battle against
And I didn't
Morocco.
know he's such a good free kick taker, but you find for PSG,
he doesn't
even take free kicks.
Maybe now the coach will have noticed.
Morocco are the informed team.
Exactly.
Yes, they look like the informed team. And Senegal will face the winner of Mali, Equatorial Guinea. When before this game, all of you said, oh, except Chris said, but the probability is Mali is taking this one. This might be a West African affair. But then Equatorial Guinea as well seems to be a problem team. They are not easy to play. I'm not sure whether Senegal can scrape this one. If to play any of these teams,
they can't.
I'm feeling it will be a scraping victory. They are scraping their victories as they go. The Senegal have only scored three goals the whole tournament, and as at before yesterday, they had only scored one through the group stage, one goal.
They are not convincing umpires. We thought perhaps it was just a shaky start, but here it is. They are not coming to the party. They have a coterie of professionals. Almost everyone plays in Europe, very big names. But you see, names don't play football. You have to churn out results. This is a Senegal side which I think will be kicked out. I'm disappointed. I'm one of those who had said they are maybe going to win this edition. But with the way they are playing, they will really need to continue with the scrapping.
Yeah.
Anyway, before I get out of the stage, I want to thank Machina Patrick Chirongo. He has reminded me that the team that NAPSA helped, that issue we're talking about, it was Goma here of Kenya.
Oh, yes.
The team
yes,
that
yes.
NAPSA assisted with the training kit. Yeah. So, they are over-relying on Sadio Mane. You know, out of those 3 goals, 2 have been scored by Sadio Mane. They're not creative. Those are professionals. You need to have a midfielder, a defender, scoring.
You know, it's not the Senegalese team that with other man or Bachali would have witnessed some 1 year or the last 6 months. It's a team that is, they don't have the desire. They don't have the desire, and they're in that cocoon. They haven't come out of the shell to actually demonstrate what they're able to do.
Why are they number 1 in Africa?
Why are they number 1 in Africa? So you need to show why you're number 1 in Africa. But believe you me, it's a sad story for Senegal.
I think the undoing for Senegal is their midfield. They are not creative in midfield.
Yeah.
They have been struggling right from the first game in the group stages. And that is the more reason why they came out of the group stage with just a solitary goal.
Yeah.
Because of their midfield. They are missing some players, some combinations. It's not the Senegal we were expecting. They are playing disjointed football from the back. And I can assure you they will struggle if they come up against Mali.
Yeah,
Mali will give them a very good
chance.
chance.
If they come up against Equatorial Guinea, they're so certain, and Mali is going to actually. As you can see, Mali have been put on the back foot. They're on the back foot most of the time.
All right. Some other interesting news. We have Sevilla have bought Anthony Martial. Does that mean it will give them a better chance, Oderman, to compete with Real Madrid? They are 4 points behind Real Madrid in La Liga.
Yeah, at least Martial.
Not bought. They've got him on loan until the end of the season.
No, Anton was playing well. He just had a lot of competition at Man U. He's going to help them.
Okay. Your thoughts, Chris? Same.
No, they're totally different. He's a good player, but for me, he's never fully convinced me. He's never come. You know, the only funny thing about Martial is he comes to the party when you really need him. There are times he comes to the party and sometimes he doesn't. He's an inconsistent player for me.
Well, Charlie, this weekend, 17-15 on Sunday, Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid.
Huge match. Barcelona have been going through a lot of financial problems. That is how come I think they let go Messi. That is how come they are failing to bring in proper talent. They are relying on free agents, players that can help them out. And I think they will still struggle, and they may not finish. They will finish in very unfamiliar position this time around. And as they come up against Atletico Madrid, I think Atletico has a slight edge over Barcelona.
Yeah. All right. The Premier League will only resume, that's the EPL, on Tuesday. Some matches of note. Oderman, Burnley versus Manchester United next week, Tuesday.
Man U found the winning ways. The new coach seems to have been slow, but he has built a team. obviously, that it can only be one way. I mean, Man U are picking the maximum points.
Man U picking the maximum points. Otherwise, in England, is it a done deal, Chris? From the angle that can Liverpool catch up?
I don't think
Considering that Man City dropped 2 points.
Yes.
It's tight, but Man City are not.
The difference is 9 points.
Yeah, it's 9 points.
Though Liverpool have a game in hand.
Yeah, they've got a game in
Liverpool
hand.
have a game in hand.
Yeah.
They win that one, it will be
6 points.
6 points.
6 points,
means
and
2 games.
supposing Man City drop another 2 points or 3 points somewhere along the way.
Man City is not going to drop any more points. Believe you me. Pep should have been shouting their guns and blazers coming out there because he knows that Liverpool are right behind their tails. So they're not going to give it up very easily.
Man City are said to have bought the hottest property in Argentina right now. River Plate striker Julian Alvarez. Man U was actually looking at buying him.
They were slow.
He's a hot guy.
They're always slow.
Man U are always
and
slow.
they don't have a number 9. And I'm looking at Man City started slow this season. And people were saying, no, they need to buy a striker. But Pep said, no, relax.
And it's very strategic.
Look at them now. They don't have a number 9 since Aguero left. But they have finally bought a number 9. But, I mean, look at where they are. 9 points clear. Comfortable in the Champions League. And they keep moving.
It's a good move, and the youngster will remain at Liverpool until I think the next season.
Yeah.
I'm told he's massive talent, but he will not join them now.
Yeah.
Until after the end of the season.
Then we are waiting to hear if Vlahovic from Fiorentina is joining Juventus. If they get him, I think it will be the biggest transfer of the summer for 78 million euros.
Yes, that would be the biggest.
Yes, but for him, I think he's worth it. He's a hell of a striker.
Oh yeah,
that guy. So, and he's only 20, is it 21 or 23? So that one is a good deal. Barcelona versus Musa Dembele. Another one. He's refused to sign a contract. So Barcelona have told him, because you refused to sign a contract, find a club, go. Because his contract finishes at the end of the season.
Told the agent received a phone call from PSG.
Yes.
And he was able to show officials at Barcelona trying to hide that conversation. So I'm sure he's on his way out. He has been injury prone.
Yes. But Barcelona wanted him for their new project, which they are calling their new project.
They can't get him.
So, but it looks like the money which they were offering him is a cut. You have to take a pay cut on his deal, since money is an issue. Yeah.
Just let him come to Maite.
Okay, gentlemen, I think we can end the show here.
Oh, it was a wonderful show.
Yes.
Patrick Kapapiro Kalumbira is one of those who doesn't miss the show. Yeah, I know he's glued to the radio. And like I said, Mashina, Coach Patrick Chirongu, he also listens to the show. We want to thank all those that have been consistent in encouraging us. But tomorrow, all roads lead to Chilata.
Tomorrow, all roads lead to Chilata. And
if you can't afford, watch it on TV.
Yes, and on Friday, and on Friday, all roads lead to Levi Mwanawasa.
And in terms of the AFCON pass, Vincent Abubakar, 6 goals.
7
goals, and only Ben McCarthy and Hossam Hassan.
Yeah, I've done that.
I've
at
done
this
that.
stage.
Samuel Eto'o, 18 goals in 6 Africa Cup.
edition.
18 goals.
Otherwise, just to thank also Latat Cafe, who also are usually with us on our shows. They are at shop number 3, Chisua's Emporium, Central Street in Kana East. They have the best burgers in town, the best wraps in town, chicken and chips, sausage and chips, pies, samosas, platters, cakes for all occasions, and they also provide a catering service for corporate functions, weddings, birthdays, and kitchen parties. And also they do ice cream. You'll find that option there every day. Donuts, cupcakes. You can buy your cake slices as well. Latat Cafe is open from 8 hours to 20 hours Monday to Saturday, and 10 hours to 19 hours every Sunday. So do not miss that if you're in Nkana East and you need a snack, or if you just in Kitwe, if you're just looking for a good place to get something to eat, go to Latat Cafe.
Great one.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Bola
Nizigori.
Bola
Ibaba.
Let up,